All right, family. Um, this still goes into my topic. So the sister, Miss Harper, somebody said, hey, address the African Union trying to tether on to Foundation Black Americans, our $1.7 trillion yearly trillion dollar spending power and the reparations movement. I said, well, I said they are foreigners. You dig? So, I was going to talk about foreigners. So this fit right along the lines. So it's actually not off topic, is what I'm saying. So this will be an update. You dig? This will be news. This will be news, but I got updates as well on ICE. Okay, so I want to do something. I'm gonna do something in a second. Keenan, Claude, CNG. Yeah. So I wanna do something later. I can do it now. Because I had to block the brother who says he's FBA Ross son. I don't know if he is, but if he is, I know he comes from those channels that's like very hostile. They be debating all the damn time about nothing. They never talk about issues and how to work on them, how to solve them. They are, just a useless bunch of guys who debate all day and don't even have like facts with them, just personal beliefs. So he comes over here with that energy, and we tolerate it. Shabazz was cordial with him. I was cordial with him. Talked over us, no problem. I gave him his wrench back and everything. So he comes today, and he says, he in the chat still causing issues. And by the way, before he called in yesterday, the chat was right on it. The chat pointed him out to me. It wasn't like I singled him out. The chat singled him out. Like, yo, who is this dude causing all this ruckus in the chat? So like the chat is really a lot of times the chat direct me to like the troublemakers in the chat, like tethers or just troublemakers. So anyway, so he in the chat this morning going crazy, and then he had a problem with super chats and cash chat. Like, why people send you super chat? Well, what you mean? Because they support the damn channel. They value the content, and that's why I said earlier, like these are really agents. So Lex Vortex kind of like pinpoint him perfectly. Like, he say Lex Vortex said, I don't even believe you're FBA, and you're definitely an agent. Why is it an issue when Tariq Nasheed sells to black people, or whoever else solicit a service, offers a service to foundation? Why we can't support each other? Look, in my mind, these folks are trying to stop a 2025, 2026, you dig, Black Wall Street. Black Wall Street can only happen when we buy and sell to each other. But if that buying is and selling is allowed to be called pimping the community, or why are you getting this cash app super chat? I mean, is this dude retarded? Damn near every channel you go on that has the content, people are going to send cash apps and super chats. Um, Now, what I'm gonna do later, when enough people come on here, I'm gonna show you guys the Patreons that I joined, the channels. I'm gonna show you how the Discords, and I'm gonna show you the years of super chats before I ever received one. The years of super chats I sent people, $20, $10, $5. You dig? Especially in our spaces. And you guys know some of the names of some folks. I'm like the first person to set it off of a channel that I appreciate. I'm the one that sent Lord Jamar a super chat correcting him on the term tether because he was misunderstanding it to mean all immigrants. And I was the one that sent the super chat to be like, nah, bro. And then he read it. And then he appreciated the correction. Okay. So I have years of history sending super chats to other content creators. And all like a guy I follow with boxing, 70 Sports TV. Years. I was a member of his Patreon up until the pandemic because finances got crazy after that. But I was a Sinetta TV. I was again the pandemic cut that Patreon stuff. Professor Dave. I was a member of his Discord long before anybody knew who he was. Okay, long before Lord Jamar knew he was in Godfrey. Okay, I had joined his Discord because I was having a debate about um, energy. It's a chemistry debate I was having, and I wanted his take on it. So I had joined his Discord. I paid and joined his Discord, and I communicated with him directly just to get his take. And he agreed with me, obviously. Um, so I brought that back to the boy, to my guy who I was debating. Like, yo, look, but this is before he got big. This is when he was still talking to regular folks like myself, small people. Now, good luck trying to reach me directly. All right, but yeah, so I have a long history of supporting everybody book in the community. So anybody that knows me 5 years ago, I bought everybody book in the community. Had my own library. You dig? SAR, Chief X thanks me for buying his he was saying Moringa. I could go on and on. I got everybody booked. If they had a book, I bought it. You dig? And sometimes didn't even read it, just out of support. So like that's my so when somebody say, hey man, why folks sending you super chats or cash apps? Why not? If they value the channel, value me, and value the lineage, why not? Shit, it got to go somewhere. Like I said, I got a long history of years, 5, 7 years, sending folks super chats, and always been buying Black folks products. I bought every last DVD Tariq Nasheed produced, except for like the last three. Again, like I said, when that pandemic happened, that kind of crushed my finances a lot. I was like self-employed, doing very, very well. That pandemic said, hold on, hold on, hold on. You got to stop supporting Black folks. It did. That pandemic can make me angry. Yeah. All right. So, and like I said, people who know me for the last 5, 7 years, they know. All right. So that's what I do. That's for that agent Ross, where the fuck is Ross Son? Right? Dude is a straight complete clown. There's nothing wrong with FBA supporting FBAs, whether it's a donation, super chat, you're buying our service, you're buying our products, soliciting our service. There's nothing wrong with us doing business with each other. That's how the dollar circulates. Just stupid people to say stupid things, okay, and then talk over you when you want to send the phone number to discuss this. Like he did, they just keep talking and talking and talking, and no respect for the channel at all. So we understand why he never sends super chats and cash apps because he doesn't value FBAs. All right. So let's do a quick update.
And you're hurting your own community.
Well, Ed, you are the one, I think, among the three of you who's really probably been with ICE the longest. And it feels like half of the country, the media would have you believe, is against.
So in a second, when more folks get in, and I'm gonna show you, y'all, I'm gonna show you guys my super chat history from because Unbiased Ron has been like my second longest channel, and you'll see. Sent hella people super chats, hella for years. So if folks value my content, send me something. What's the issue?
Against you guys. Have you ever seen anything like this?
No, and I hit 30 years of service with the government in September, and I crossed over 4 administrations, and I have never seen it, Laura. And I think the projection of what people see who we are is wrong, and they have the misconception of we're going after people and families, and that's not true.
Right.
We do targeted operations.
Target operations. Liberal media have been lying to you guys, gaslighting you.
These cases are vetted. We do going after national security threats, public safety, and we're making our community safer. So never seen it in my years before, but we have to change the language, and we have to change the dynamics and the culture.
And I know that, look, you guys are doing the best you can as agents and ICE officers to protect your families. This is a job that requires that sometimes,
Yeah, and that's crazy because federal agents and law enforcement has never done anybody worse than us in this country, ever, not even close. And we've never been violent like this. And they did us dirty. It did. But we ain't, I hate when my phone ring and the phone number, nothing shows up. It's a blank square. A blank screen. It's ringing with no number, no name, nothing. Okay, I guess I'll just wait till the missed call and see who called. That's wild. Yeah, but they have done us the worst. No reason, violating our constitutional rights, our citizenship. You dig? And dogs sicked on us. I mean, attacking us, not locking us up, detaining us, attacking us, brutalizing us. And we never took down names to go find agents and officers to go harm them or harass them. You dig? We've never behaved like that when the whole country was against us. They're talking about MAGA and the Trump administration where they could vote somebody else into doing better. It don't matter who was in office. They were going to follow the plan, the playbook to strip us of our constitutional rights and harm us, terrorize us, undermine us, sabotage our neighborhoods. What Latino neighborhood has been sabotaged? The money stripped out of it and they just took it, looted their business. Now you got these folks looting American businesses, but who looted? The government didn't loot their businesses. So I don't like the comparison when they try to say, hey, what about slavery? I mean, Dan, you jumped way back then. How about our Jim Crow compared to what you believe is your Jim Crow? Like you guys, the ones who are being attacked and targeted are clearly considered illegal, and they don't have any documents. So not just that they're being called illegal, they don't have any documents. When we were being harmed during Jim Crow, we had documents and we were not tagged or targeted as illegals. Big difference. So I don't like the comparison. Another update.
What started out as two men arguing at a motel turned into an arrest, with one of the men admitting he was an MS-13 gang member.
Pretty wild. I've never heard of anything about any gang activity here or nothing.
So while the U.S. border was wide open, criminals and gang members entered our country and are now hiding all over America.
I can't play this guy's stuff. He's definitely going to flag me. Okay. So let's get into the African Union. You know what? Let me hold off on that real fast because folks might be like, "Hey, you didn't address it." You know, folks. Okay, so let me get rid of that. Shoot we do what? All right. First of all, let me see if I can find my history of Cash Apps. An agent to come over here and project what they deal with on their wild, reckless debating channels, and I'm gonna try to project that over here. Let me see if I can get to it.
I gotta pass because you got the internet.
Did so.
Volvo, if you want Jay's Prince, Jay's phone number?
I was trying to talk to him about FBA. He said never heard of it. Y'all won't let me finish.
But he's lying. He's heard of it.
God, hold on. Stop. Bobo, I'm gonna give you 1 minute. Explain FBA.
How can I get it?
No, I got it now.
It cannot take more than 1 minute to explain.
He asked me had I heard
this
of
is our elder.
I said,
I'm trying to enlighten him.
They don't take.
The younger generation is.
I said yes initially.
The younger generation ain't FBA. The younger generation are Black or African American. They're not subscribing to no.
A lot of guys, a lot of this lineage, me and you're a descendant of the slaves here in America, right, Jay?
Of course.
America's not one country for crying out loud.
Out, man. Shut up. Go ahead, Bobo.
Right. So you're a descendant. I'm pretty sure you have a Black American name, your full name, everything. You could trace your lineage back to the 1870s census, right?
Beyond,
right. But I'm saying on paper, that's what we're seeing.
On paper. I now know who the relative was that came over from Benin.
You know who the relative was?
Yes.
You know his name, his actual name?
Yes.
Okay, that's
believe it or not,
let me
just say this. Dinus, let me
What I'm
say
saying
this.
is this. Listen,
Well,
if you
let me just make. Let me
Whoa,
say
whoa,
something to you
let
so you
him
get
finish.
that point.
Let Jay
no,
finish
you
his
stepping
point.
on it on purpose. You know where I'm
I'm not.
going
You
with this.
asked
You
me a
act
Asking
like
20
you
question. I'm
don't
Yeah,
know.
give me a
answering it.
second.
You
Buffalo,
asked me
you're
a
not
question.
going
I'm
anywhere with
answering
it,
it.
Bobo.
You
He
asked
just
me a question.
executed his
I'm
ass
answering it.
1870. It's done. Go ahead, Prince.
Yeah. And my father and mother pushed genealogical family research on me since I was in grade school. And when they died, I stepped further into it. But through luck, and through ancestry.com, they actually sent me the person. And I wasn't even looking for it. I had started the research. I got beyond 1870. That took years, decades before. Just let me finish. And so, yeah, I now know who the person was that came over on the ship
Oh,
You
damn.
know
and the
his African
plantation
name.
they were on.
He kept his African name.
Of course not.
So okay, well, all right.
Wait. You expect slaves to keep their African name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, how would you know that he came over on the ship? How would you know
Because I
that he
know who
came
my
over on the
great
ship?
great. I
You
know
have
who
to know
my
who he
great.
was.
Bro,
Okay, you want to
they
listen to
have
me or you want to overtalk
docket
me?
numbers and they have
Hey, yeah. Now that's the tether Kwame who likes to gaslight. And anytime, because the two that's talking about the ships and the guys that don't believe it, these are FBAs. But Kwame is not. And what tethers like to do, just watch in the future. Watch when there's two FBAs on a panel and I have a tether here. Watch a tether try. If me and the FBA person disagrees, watch the tether pick a side and go dumb hard. Like these are the real divisive people.
they have the ports where they
Listen, you're
come
talking
from.
to somebody that's from this lineage that really did the research, bro. You're just
Okay,
talking to
and I
someone
did
that's
too.
mad
But
about
then
FBA.
if you want to learn how I did it, I'll tell you. If not, just
Yeah,
keep talking, and I don't have to tell you.
yeah, go
You
ahead.
asked the question. Ancestry through me identifying, and I was never able to get back beyond my great grandfather, which would put me in the 1870s. Then they sent me one list and saying this person is that person's father. Then this
What's the
person's that.
document?
You want to let me finish? This person's that person's father. On and on. I got back to 6 generations, and it sent me the person's name in the plantation in Alabama.
Okay, what's the document though? That's what I'm asking. That's
The
what we deal
Yeah,
with.
document
what did they send
is
you?
We don't deal with
okay.
no blood and all that. Just simple document. Government we're the most documented people on the
Oh
planet.
my God, bro. Yeah.
Hey man,
Bro, the
hey, you know
government
what?
I don't know why that's so
Do me a favor.
I don't know
Don't
why
put
that's
my
so
Hold on,
offensive about
Dinus.
let him answer, Bobo. Let him answer.
Okay, yeah, because
hold on.
if he can do it, I should be able to
No,
do it.
let
What's
him
the document?
answer. Be
Hey,
quiet.
Dynasty, can I make a point after?
Okay, so Sherry ST10 said our identity is Black American Black. We aren't African anything. We are not Afro Jamaican. Blah blah blah. She said let the Afro African title be assigned to African, and we don't mind them assuming that title. Y'all can have it. Peace to the chat. Pinky Lovejoy, Alicia Hill. Sounds Bantu. L for Lang. FB Independent. Carlos. Muck Muck. CNG and Claude. Yeah. So in a second, I'm going to read the African Union website, what they're about, and this whole thing with reparations or the 1.7 from their website. The 1.7, I think it's the reparations thing. But I did my own research on the 1.7, what they're really saying. So I'm gonna read what they're saying. I'm gonna read what's really been done or said by them. Right? Okay. Because of course they're gonna make it sound sweet. So this is the website right here. Website right here. You can see reparations. We did a little later. I want to read it twice. So in the meanwhile, I'm looking for my history of super chats.
It
Now,
doesn't
let
mean
him
the
answer. Now back
document
to
is
you,
not
Kwame.
important here. What's important? Oh, you want to let me finish, or you want to keep interrupting me? Because really,
He's
this
gonna
is getting
continue
old.
interrupting because
This
he's
is
not
getting old.
understanding
And
that you're
don't get my
talking
information
something
This,
from
that
this show
China.
is
was
hilarious.
before the government.
Look. They tell you who
Hmm.
your great grandfather is. They tell you who his father is. It goes on and on and on, and they show you where they moved from,
Okay,
the
there we go.
town, the city, through court records, so forth and so on, and birth records, census records, plantation records, and they give you the information.
Oh, I think I
That's
know
what
what's that now.
Ancestry did.
but even that is lacking because it cannot tell you anything prior to the arrival of slaves here. And in that sense, that's what Bob was not understanding, because there's no government document to which you can refer to, because you're talking about the period of 300 years prior to everything that blew up in the last 250 years. Second point, you're also referring to the fact that you are dependent on the record keeping of the European invaders.
I didn't say that. I didn't say I was dependent on any record keeping.
No, not you, Jay. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the whole aspect. So in this sense, again, the problem with the argument, Bobo, is that you are delimiting history arbitrarily at your own convenience and not viewing the actual expansion of that history and the limitations of that history in that sense. Because
I gotta pass the mic to Kwame. Kwame's been waiting. Is that Jagu? Go ahead, Kwame.
All right, I'm definitely not gonna listen to Kwame.
Go ahead, Kwame.
Okay, so let me fast forward Kwame. Listen to tether, this hate FBA tether babble.
Jagun.
Go ahead, Jagun. Uno momento.
Oh, shit.
Evening, everybody. We have another one of our discussions that I've been listening to for about an hour. And I must say, I'm further confused with the level of...
Yeah, again, every tether is confused on what FBA is and what it's about. Every tether. They all say they're confused. Every last one of them.
Lack of identity.
Hey, Jagun, you gotta talk it to the phone. Like you're like fighting your phone or your Bluetooth. I don't know what you're doing.
Oh, really? Oh, I'm sorry. Is that any better?
That's better. Go ahead.
Thank you. Now, as I said, I'm pretty confused with the way we're discussing things. It seems to me that we're splitting hairs. It seems to me we're trying our best to run away from the reality of our Africanicity. It seems to me that the tethering.
Yeah, they're confused, but then they can explain it later. That'd be the funniest. They all say, I'm confused, but let me give you all the answers. Wait a minute. I thought you were just confused.
Put out there from the American black people.
Really? Oh man, hold on, bro.
Hold on, please, bro. No. Don't do this. Don't do this.
Nobody ever heard of ANA. Nobody ever heard this movement. This is AstroTurf. This is AstroTurf. Nobody ever heard this movement.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Right here.
Dennis, can you allow me to speak?
Why can't he finish? Why can't he finish?
Yeah, this is a Pan-African panel. This is not a FBA xenophobic panel.
Wait, but the title is called FBA, stupid. That's Kwame. It's a Pan-African title. So why the hell you talking about FBA? Look, I brought up Pan-Africanism just now to talk about their tethering on reparations. This is news. This is news update.
Read the title. Can you allow Dennis?
So go to an
Hey, Kwame, you don't have content without bringing up our names. I showed that on every YouTube channel, whether they got 4,000 subscribers, 4 subscribers, or 100,000 subscribers. I already showed and proved that all of their largest views on a singular video has the FBA or Black American title in it.
Are you a Pan-African or are you a xenophobic FBA?
Can you see what's happening?
We have a special guest up here today talking about something specific.
Fair enough. Please just allow me to. Please allow me.
And then he gonna use tether. We calling y'all tethers.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm pointing back to you. That the rule that there is that tether.
You got white accomplishments. You're tethering on to white accomplishment and white society.
Look, that's your boy Kwame.
White supremacist. Be quiet. You're a white supremacist.
How old are you?
Concerned. Is it okay, guys? 73. Is it okay that I have my say?
73. My mother's 70. So you was alive.
What's he talking about? Can I have my say?
You were alive.
No.
Hey everybody, in
Why
this
not?
video tutorial, I'm gonna show you how to.
Jaguar, you dealing with black
I
people,
know,
white
I know, I know.
supremacists.
You know, sometimes it's very
let
difficult.
Jagoon speak. Go ahead, Jagoon.
Yeah, let
Can
the
I
man
get
speak.
another opportunity to speak to the?
He called
Go
us
ahead,
tether,
Jagoon.
but he ran all the way from Africa to Europe. But he called us.
Go ahead, Jagoon.
You guys, man, you guys are so strange. You know, you have a complex on the real history. You have a complex on geography. You just have a complex.
Yeah,
You're
we're
just
just
throwing
dumb.
out terms, and they mean nothing. All they're doing is disturbing the education of our people. Just like my man Kwame said, that this is dangerous. By the time the
When you
next
got a
generation
reference,
comes, the
Kwame,
level of
you know you're
confusion
tethered.
that's going to be within.
Now he's about to remember the last tether just ranted and called everybody broke. Watch this guy just rant and don't say anything about the title. What's the problem with FBA? Like he's just gonna rant on an anti-FBA tangent. Watch.
America and possibly the black world is going to be disgusted.
In one generation, the
we
FBA
are
kids gonna be
already
retarded.
And
Listening
one
to this
generation, the FBA gonna
pseudoscience.
stop. Black people gonna
All right,
stop.
all right, all right, all right. Be quiet now.
One generation, no more scams.
Let me have my say, and then you can come back. What I'm trying to put to you guys here, I'm listening, and I'm saying to you that what we're saying is confusing. The guest, as you say, who we've seen before, by the time you say ANA, Anna, how is it?
Who is she?
American North.
That's something that Dinah's them pushing. We not pushing
that for me is another.
And it's not your business, though. It's not.
It doesn't matter if it's my business or not. I'm commenting. You fucking idiot.
It's Pan-Africanism. It's Pan-Africanism trying to muddy the water, man. That's all it is.
Wow. Always talking shit.
Okay. All right. Wow. Okay.
I gotta go.
Can I please?
I'm speaking.
All right. So let's get to the website. Okay. About the African Union. Right. Damn. Check it out. Okay. About the African Union. The African Union, the AU, is a continental body consisting of the 55 member states that make up the countries of the African continent. Okay, so it's an African thing. It was officially launched in 2002 as a successor to the Organization of African Unity, OAU, 1963, 1999. So if y'all know anything, just know that in the 1960s, that's when most Black countries got their independence, whether they're from the islands or Africa. At 1960, Nigeria, all of them. Okay, I don't care about the history like that. The main there we go. Let me make it bigger. The main objectives of the OAU were to rid the continent of the remaining vestiges of colonization and apartheid. Okay, you already did that. You got independence. To promote unity and solidarity among African states. How well did that go? So 60 years later, how closer are they unifying with each other in Africa? These 55 states, these 55 countries. How closer are they today, 60 years later, of this solidarity bullshit? Okay. Let's continue to coordinate and intensify cooperation for development to safeguard the sovereignty and territorial integrity of member states and to promote international cooperation. The OAU charter spelled out the purpose of the organization, namely, to promote the unity and solidarity of the African states, to coordinate and intensify their cooperation. You see the wordplay? They're trying to call them African states to make them believe Africa is a country. But when we use Africa in the context of a country, they get mad. It's like, wait a minute, that can't have it both ways. Is it a continent? Then there's no African states. Then there's African countries, man. Like I see the wordplay. You're trying to be psychological to these Africans. Hey, we're states. That means we're part of the same country. We should think alike, eat alike. We have the same culture. It's all bullshit. To defend their sovereignty, I read that, to eradicate all forms of colonialism, from Africa and to promote international cooperation, having due regard to the Charter of the United Nations and the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Okay. Through the OAU Coordinating Committee for the Liberation of Africa. Okay. The continent worked and spoke as one with undivided determination. That's a lie. Yeah, 100% divided. In 1999, the heads of state and government of the Organization of Africa Unity issued the CERTI Declaration calling for the establishment of the African Union. So they're going to try another way to unify. They're going to do more word games to psych out people to believe they're one. All right. Did that work? That's 99. So 20 years later, where's the progression? The AU is guided by its vision of an integrated, prosperous, and peaceful Africa, driven by its own citizens and representing a dynamic force in the global arena. How's that possible if they're all fleeing from the objective? They're all going to other countries that don't give a damn about the AU, the OAU, all that stuff. Okay? That's not going to work as long as their best minds are coming to America. It's not going to work. At some point, we got to call it. We got to call it. So we need to hold them to this, actually. You know what? I'm going to start holding them to this, the AU wants and beliefs. Like, yo, how are you being in America is helping the integrated, prosperous, and peaceful Africa, driven by its own citizens who are not the citizens anymore. Now they're UK citizens, Canadian citizens, and American citizens. So like they are running from their mission statement. That's hilarious. No, I'm kind of fly. Stop. They are running from their own mission statement. That's crazy. Okay. So hold on. That is wild. So we're gonna start holding them to this. Like, yo, what about the AU? What about this integrated 55 state mission where the citizens of Africa, remember, they're trying to make it a country, right? So they got to make their mind up. Is it a country or is it a continent? Because the AU, the OAU look at Africa as a country. They're calling Africans abroad citizens. All right. God damn. Yeah, they're calling them citizens. So when they flee, they are abandoning this dream, abandoning it, fleeing from it, tossing it in the trash. They see no value of it. They see no value in it. Now, I don't want to read anymore. Let's get out of here and go to the reparations scam, allegedly. So 2025, theme of the year, 2025 year of, this is their year of reparations. Justice for Africans and people of the African descent through reparations. Here they go. What acronym is this? Now remember, they say we come up with a new identity every so often. Well, y'all come up with new acronyms how to unite. You got the OAU, you got the AU, and now you got the JAPADR, the Justice for Africans and People of African Descent through Reparations. What is this about? What is this about? Okay. They don't get what. Damn, what's it about? What kind of trick bag is this? So they're not going to tell us what it's about. Here we are. Here we are. So shall we begin? AU, African Union, theme of the year 2025. We just read that. Okay, so it says the African Union, the AU, has designated 2025 as the year of justice for Africans. Yeah, this is a way to undermine our voice on reparations, on cut the check. Now all of a sudden, cut the check sounds good. When we were saying it, chat, they were saying it's a handout. these tethers, we're saying it's a handout. You're begging. Are you guys begging for a handout? Why don't you guys just keep hard working? Or in my words, getting worked hard for low wages. Why is your handout right now? Right. This initiative underscores the AU's commitment to addressing historical injustices, including the transatlantic slave trade, colonialism, apartheid, and genocide. Now, here's their problem. They sold people as slaves. Hey, yeah, do y'all know that white people and Europeans across the world, when they hear this claim from these clowns, they're gonna be like, uh-huh. And who sold us these people as slaves? This is self-snitching. This is a self-snitching movement. So now all of the wait till white folks address this bullshit. Everything will come to the light. They're gonna because white folks probably got the exact kingdoms, countries, fake kings, and everybody who's involved in selling people into enslavement. You dig? So they about to open up a real can of, you know how they want Trump to release the Epstein files? Well, we're gonna be calling for these folks to release the slave the selling of human beings files. We want to know who's all involved. Okay, so including the transatlantic slave trade, was those guys were business partners of white folks. Okay. Okay, white folks were their business partner. Let's not make no mistake. Okay, stop screaming. Okay, well, it's your live stream, dude. Your live stream ain't working. Let me fix it. 1 second. Yo, why when I have a kids channel for my son on YouTube, why when I click the option, the three-dotted option that says don't recommend channel, they keep recommending the channel? Like there's certain things I'm like, nah, it's too weird. It's too much of an agenda. I press don't recommend channel. I'm not interested in, and the next day it's up there again. Like, yo, what is that function for? All right. Turn this down. Okay, so it says, including the transatlantic slave trade, I read that it builds on decades of advocacy and collaboration aiming to foster unity and establish mechanisms for reparatory justice on a global scale. Okay. So there you go. Wait. So objectives. The objectives of the African Union, AU, theme of the year, we keep reading that. Is number one, is strengthening AU institutional frameworks, establish and operationalize key mechanisms, including a committee of experts on reparations and an African reparations fund. Oh, shit. Develop partnerships with the Caribbean community, CARICOM, and the African Diaspora to enhance collaboration. Y'all better have FBA or ADOS there alongside of CARICOM. Okay, because we want to know about those files, those selling people files. Operationalizing reparations as a flagship project. Convene strategic dialogues and develop a framework for implementing reparations and racial healing initiatives as a flagship project. Wait a minute, but don't they call us the slaves? Don't they say we're the lost ones? I don't recall found woke people getting, something like this. This is for the lost folks, right? Ain't this for the lost folks? You would think this is for the folks who got sold, right? So, okay, so they're mixing events up, I believe. I believe they're mixing up colonialism with reparations, all right? Talking about African slave trade reparations. It actually said it right here. Let me go up. so you guys don't miss it. It says, hold on, where was it? Oh yeah, right here. Look. So this is for you tethers and Pan-Africanists. It doesn't say including the transatlantic slave raid. So let me put that real fast, because family, you guys are probably not aware of the argument, the delusional argument. So let me just say this. Shit, come on. Okay, all right. So let me do this. Let me give you the arguments. Okay. Since we on this topic. Okay. So tethers argue. Trans, okay. This is what tethers argue. Today, they're trying to revise history. Transatlantic slave raids. Okay. FBA does what we're arguing, reparations for transatlantic slave trade. Okay. That's what's going on. So the AU is agreeing with us who agrees with history. You dig? Slave trade, not slave raids. You guys want to know what the difference is? They're acting, tethers and Africans, they act like the transatlantic diaspora, the dispersed blacks in the diaspora, they act like it came from slave raids. What is a slave raid? They want you to believe that a handful of white folks came into Africa and literally kidnapped. They use the word traffic, they use the word stole. Millions, hundreds and thousands of millions of Africans without any fighting, any retaliation, and they just lined them up on ships for like 100 years, and that's what led to slavery in America and Haiti and Jamaica and these things like that. They want you to believe that. They want to deny that there was actually a slave trade that's largely responsible for how blacks got dispersed throughout the diaspora and end up becoming chattel slavery in America and Haiti and Jamaica and Brazil. That's what's going on, unbeknownst to y'all. They're denying the slave trade. They're denying Africa's hand selling us to white people. Yeah, they're going that far. And I'm sure Rasun believes that, and even Bob West, when he was on here, he believes that. I didn't get a chance to ask him that because he hopped off. All right, but notice how hostile they be when they come over here. They're never like calm and cool headed. They're always hostile and like ready to talk. It's like, yo, can you be ready to listen? You dig? Can you be ready to go with the program? Like, I mean, like this is a show that's built on order. Notice that they add the chaos. Okay. So that's the argument. That's right there. Well, it's not really an argument. That's the delusion. But I'm so glad that their AU got it right, including the transatlantic slave trade, not transatlantic slave raid. They really want to revise history in your face. But I got them. Okay. Let's come back down here. CARICOM. Okay, so now they want to promote policy and legislative measures to ensure the project's success. Okay. They want to develop an African common position, create a unified stance on reparations, incorporating input from experts, member states, and relevant stakeholders. I hope your experts don't argue the slave raid. Okay. Mainstreaming reparations into development policies, equip member states and regional economic communities to integrate reparations and racial healing into their strategies and programs. I don't know how this is possible, and they don't check their tether class. They allow their countrymen and women to buy into negative propaganda against us. That we're lazy, we're thugs, everything that they experience in their country, movies and whatever they lie about, they're allowed to redirect it and project it onto us. So we're everything they are in their country, basically, to make themselves feel better. That's what ex-architect was trying to explain to Stu Pease. Okay, a lot of projection here. So organize global summits and dialogues to advocate for reparations. After they told us we're begging for a handout, after they told us we'll never get it, enhance public awareness and research on reparations and racial healing. Okay, racial healing. What racism is there in Africa, outside of South Africa? Establishing knowledge and research centers, set up a center of excellence for training and scholarships focused on reparations. And I mean, all you gotta do is come to America. They keep saying experts and come to America. You learn everything you guys want to do. We've been learned. You did like 100 years ago. Launch educational programs like summer schools and grants. Now, what they could do for us is this. Okay, what they could do for us is this. They can give us some of that free education on medicine, technology, all that stuff that afford them to flee over here and become the largest successful immigrant group in America. Yeah, give us those resources, that free training, that free schooling that America won't provide. They make us pay, and they know we ain't got the money because they took it all. And they undermine those who had money and, our rich, even though they mess up, the Diddy's and the Bill Cosby and the Michael Jackson, even though they might be messing up, self-sabotaging, they still strip them from every dollar. So they make sure that the black dollar doesn't go to the next generation. All right. Building multi-stakeholder partnerships, strengthen collaboration between civil society, governments, religious organizations, and the diaspora to advance reparatory justice. Number 8, resource mobilization. Secure sustainable funding through initiatives like the AU Global Fund on reparations. Host high-level events to encourage and invest in reparations and racial healing. I got a better idea. How about they just join us? All those all of that research and experts they want to do, it's already here in America. All the history they want to learn, we already know it. How about come over here and get behind us? I think that's a better idea because we're like light years advanced from them as far as reparations argument. So how about just get behind us? So just make it, instead of saying like this whole bullshit right here, this okay, damn. Every time I get on Tether, there's a whole bunch of flies start coming out. Okay. So instead of talking about 2025 year reparations, how about just say, hey, we're standing behind FBA. What do you want? What do you want? No, I got it. What do you want? How about standing behind FBAs and ADOS? Just say, hey, we support FBAs and ADOS. And how about saying any help you guys need from us? If you guys need education, you need funding, we will get that to you. All right. And on the back end, so after you guys achieve your goal, right, with our help, on the back end, help us out with this global reparations case. Right. I think that would make more sense. Lord Maul says Field Peas has Bammy and oxtails for brain. Yeah, he made us feel like a fool in that dialogue. Okay, so are we done with this? Let's keep. So I read that part. So that was the objectives, right? So theme of the year. I'm not gonna read all this shit. So this is long as hell. Having reparations for Africans. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Maybe it's something here. Justice for Africans. I don't like them keep framing as Africans and Africans and Africans, and African descent and African. I don't like that. That seems like they're gonna double dip. They're gonna double dip. Like, nah, remember, we're African, you're not. I got it. Yeah, that sounds like a double dip to me. This all this African talk. Okay. So reparations. So it says in the continued pursuit of justice and equity, the conversation about reparations has emerged as a critical and transformative dialogue that requires the collective attention and action of Africans and all people of African descent. I don't like that. The scope of this conversation goes beyond historical injustices and into the current fabric of societies around the world. The complexities of addressing past wrongs, whether they stem from colonialism, transatlantic enslavement, apartheid, or systemic discrimination, necessitate a thorough examination of strategic approach. Having reparations for Africans and the people of the African descent offers the AU the opportunity to take leadership on. Yeah, we don't want that. We don't want that. The AU the opportunity to take leadership on the African reparation agenda. Yeah, that's the problem right there. That's the problem right there. And you know what? Tariq was right when he said they want us to call us African so they could say, well, we're the real African. You guys only 15% African. We're 90% African. We are the real African. So we're going to lead anything that pertains to Africa. And it says right there, they want to take leadership on the Africa reparation agenda, as well as bring together the African citizenry and the African diaspora to build a common united front for the cause of justice and payment of reparations to Africans for historical crimes and mass atrocities committed against Africans and people of African descent, including colonization, apartheid, and genocide. Additionally, reparations as the theme of the year will further drive momentum generated by the different initiatives and activities over the years, and for the Commission to promote an active AU-wide engagement on the subject of reparations in close coordination with the AU member states, REX, AU organs, including this bullshit right here, and the African Commission on Human and People's Rights. African Court and Humans and People's Rights, whatever. Oh shit, look who's involved. The Pan-African Parliament. So they got Pan-Africanist clowns there, but no FBA ADOS. African Committee of Experts on the Rights and Welfare of the Child and the African Union Advisory Board Against Corruption, as well as the United Nations system and other relevant partners. Finally, the theme of the year for 2025 on reparations will support the operationalization of the reparations for transatlantic enslavement, colonialism, and apartheid as a flagship program of the union. So there you go. So I read it. So you got a lot of channels that discuss this, and who knows? They might be right or wrong. We don't know. But I read from their website what they want it to be. Okay, so I got it from the horse's mouth. Okay? All right. I got let me see if this is it. Give me a second. All right. So give me a second. I wonder why. What was this? YouTube music, history. Yeah, so we read it for ourselves, family. Hmm. Lot of stuff going on with this. Shit. Yeah, I'm at the point where I'm like, yo, go do y'all and call me when you got a check for me. If they go do it's Pan-African, African, y'all want leadership. All right, well then y'all do it all. Go do it. And like, like a lawyer that's you got injured, right? And the lawyer is fighting on your behalf for some type of compensation. They don't ask you to, they say, hey, give me what happened. How does injury happen? A, B, and C, and they decide if they're gonna take the case, right? If there's something there, if there's some money to come out of this. Once they determine that, you don't help them any further. You just wait for them to call you, say, hey, I'm by Ron, here's your check. Come pick it up. Or they're military, I guess. But when I got some lawsuit money, they just said, hey, come get your check. Came and got it. I didn't help them fight for the case. So you guys believe all this stuff. You go fight. Call me when there's a check. All right. So I want to see something because I had just closed my AdSense account for my buyer's Ron so I can apply for FBA News. And I wonder if that's why I can't look at old super chats. Let me see. I forgot what option I used to click. Yeah, I gotta. Oh, I think it's in the community. All right, so that's the website, family. Let's play a little more in this. We're gonna get on some updates and news on ice raids and things like that. Some interesting stuff out there. Then we're gonna chop it up. Anybody argues, against our stance, call in. Let's cook.
I'm speaking.
Oh, but I'm going to fast forward Kwame. If Kwame's talking, I'm going to fast forward him now.
Can you look? You lot are so sensitive. You can't even hear a point of view. You're so afraid of somebody's point of view.
It's not your business.
It's not your business. What does that mean?
Now look how chaotic this panel is.
What does that mean?
That means you need to go back to your homeland and build it.
Okay, you said it now. You said it, and now I'm going to speak. I've heard you.
One last thing.
Madam, can you allow me to finish?
You still got to finish?
Can't we let him finish?
Yeah, I can't stand panels where guests they're just never finished. Like, dude, do you know a period means you're done? Question mark means you're done. Exclamation mark. It means you're done. Hell, let me finish. Dude, you just added a period, my boy. Like,
let Jago finish. Go ahead.
Guys, man, come on, we gotta grow up, man. We're acting like kids.
Stop condescending and just get your point out.
Right.
You just shut up. And how about that? Shut the fuck
up. Disrespectful.
No, you see, I'm gonna be like that because you're allowing this, Diners. You're allowing this.
Just talk, Jago.
Let me talk then. If I'm gonna speak, it should be one mic.
Go ahead, Jago. Don't interrupt. Don't interrupt. Go ahead, Jago.
Yeah, let him go for 10 minutes. Don't interrupt. And by the way, he's been talking nothing on the topic. That's why channels like this, they don't do well in the future. It's just chaotic, and people could talk off topic and just rant and go on a tangent about how they hate FBAs.
what I'm trying to put to you guys, man, is that the complications that you bring to the table are unlawful, completely unlawful. You're not speaking about, you're behaving like we're not in the real world. You're behaving like there's some kind of X world going on with you people. It's not your
Yeah,
business.
this is the
I mean,
epitome
what are you talking
of
about? This is a public
undermining.
discussion. We're having a public discussion, and we should be adult enough to take on different points of view, whether we like them or not. When we react the way we are reacting here, it just brings disgrace to ourselves. It brings disgrace, and you're not even grown up to take that on board. Have some responsibility. It's disgraceful. I'm just saying that all these conversations that we have on a daily basis, it is not progressive. We don't speak in a progressive manner.
What you think about A&A, man? What you think about A&A?
If we want separation,
I told you he just want to rant. He's speaking on nothing on the topic. They asking him, like, what do you think about A&A? They trying to get him back on the topic. They just want to rant, an emotional outburst. That's it. They hate our unity. They hate that we won, WEONE, we won. And they hate that we're delineating, we're drawing a line, saying we're cool, but this is our area over here.
in terms of there is difference. There is difference between us all in this black diaspora, in this black world. Of course, there are differences, and we recognize them. But it does not mean that you will not have a point of view. If Black UK were doing certain things, Black America can speak into it. They would have a point of view. That point of view may help or it may harm. But to say you're in England, what does that mean? That's just geography. It's simple geography. But we're still black. We're still having.
What is he talking about? The title is this. He said we're still black. The title of their show is FBA Adolph's Now Anna. What's the Black American unity? I mean, identity. It's nothing about unity and things he's talking about. Just tether distractions.
The kind of oppression that is coming through white supremacy. What I say to Black Americans generally is that you guys have been oppressed the most. And in the oppression that you have been through, I won't say necessarily the most.
Look, yeah, I told you he gets a 10-minute rant and he just throwing shade the whole time. He's not educating, he's not enlightening, he's not talking about the topic. He's able to go 10 minutes and just disrespect people and get off topic. And like Kwame said, this is a Pan-Africanist channel. This is what they do.
The oppression that you have been through, you are too close to the white man. You're too close to them, to the point that
this is how they really feel. We're too close, but they're running over here, getting close as well. It's like, dude, what are we talking about?
The way you speak to other black people, you may as well be white. You may as well, because it's the same thing that you may be bored of
all feelings and opinions, and they expect FBA just to be quiet and take all these insults.
Behave more like white people in a racist term.
I'm done with you, man.
Than anybody
you
else.
don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, right.
I'm going to interrupt you. You don't know what you're talking about.
That's about what you just said. We speaking to a continental African and speaking in the British vernacular.
That's ignorance, and that's condescending, and that's part of the problem. Is all these
good for you. Good for you. With your sensitive way of life.
The diaspora think they can come here and tell us what we are, who we're not.
It's not about me telling you anything.
And that is the problem.
Nah, bro, but the thing is, bro, they be like they the biggest hypocrites with it because y'all literally they be literally leaving Africa going to Europe wholesale.
We got
and then they got the nerve to be in the UK complaining about what's going on.
Right. Let me give
spend 30 or 40 years out there in America, in the US, then complain about the people that's in the country.
Everybody give the channel a lineage.
You got a right to do it if you in the nation, but then, bro, you gonna sit and do it from a high horse and not even go back except to go visit on holiday sometimes.
You made no sense. You made zero sense.
Listen, you got to speak, but you got to speak about honestly, bro, what you continental Africans, and I love y'all. I'm an African myself,
You
but
can't
bro,
love us.
yeah,
You can't love us.
what
If
it,
you love, you'll have some
I'm a
understanding.
bro, listen, bro,
You would
bro.
have some
Stop interrupting
understanding
me,
on the
bro.
complexity.
Stop interrupting me, bro. Stop
Yeah,
interrupting
you
me, bro.
interrupted me.
Bro,
Yeah,
stop
you forget that.
interrupting me. No,
Because you
bro,
want
you've been
You
speaking.
forget
You
that
were
you
speaking for
interrupted
like
me.
5 minutes, bro. You've been
Bro,
speaking for
you're an
like 5
arsehole.
minutes.
Complete arsehole.
Well, you were entitled to that
Dude, just
opinion.
name calling,
Hold
disrespected,
on,
disrespecting us.
Jagoon, you got
Dinus, I really think this is kind of a rose course.
whoa, Jagoon, you got 30 seconds. So I got pass the mic.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you for that. 30 seconds will do. You see, I'm about peace. But the only thing is
Really?
that because of the way we discuss things and because of our level of sensitivity, our discussions aren't peaceful. We're not able to really dialogue. I put to the guy who's supposed to be the guest. I listened to him and I think there's intelligence there, obviously. Now, within his intelligence, geographically, for you not to allow me to speak, free speech is something that is a given for us in the West. But we ourselves are propagating that there should not be free speech if we're not Black American. It's a disgraceful term. It's a term that depicts that one
Who
rule
said that?
Yeah, this
one
dude
rule
just
for you,
yeah.
another
He just made something up. That's not the
rule for the
Who
rest.
said
topic.
that? Who
You
said
said,
that you couldn't speak? I
you
never
said,
said that.
They say you
bro.
speak too
When did I
long,
say
bro.
that?
Who's the person speaking now?
This is Jay. I didn't say you couldn't speak. I never
Who's
said that.
okay? Is Jay the person with the photo on? Sorry, the thing behind him.
No,
Sorry.
no.
You see.
Bro,
Yeah, he never said he couldn't speak. He said you've been talking so long, 5 minutes, and now you're able to talk again. That's what he said, man. You're talking. You won't let nobody talk like tethers do.
nobody
I
got
had
their
my
thing.
hand up,
Okay, you're
Garfield.
The titles
okay.
are written under, bro.
Jay, if I can have a quick
That
dialogue.
told you to mind your business.
Sure, I'm open to it, but
Man, he said 30
do
seconds,
not be
man. Let him get
condescending
his
to
30
me.
seconds off, bro.
Thank you. Jay, my brother.
It has been 30 seconds, but it ain't no dialogue, bro. Get your 30 seconds.
Oh, no, it's okay. We might learn something. We never
Can I
know. We
hear
might
from
learn
him?
something.
Can I just hear from him, please? If he
Thank you,
has a
Jay.
question for me, can I hear from
Yes,
him?
sir. I'm an African. I live in the
Mhm.
UK. I came to the UK when I was 4 years old. You
Hmm.
understand, from Nigeria.
Fled.
And in my transition, that's my parents. But being
Yeah, they
here
fled.
in the UK, the exposure that I've had has taught me a lot. If I was brought up fully in Nigeria, there would be a different kind of way I may express myself. However, because I've seen and looked at the history of our people, I've seen that we have all suffered under the white man. That
Oh
alone
damn!
should give us unity. But unfortunately, the white man has
It's the
done such a
FBA
great
fault.
job that it doesn't give us unity. What it gives us is complexity and an identity crisis. And we're not trying to bring our identity together. We are further trying to separate ourselves. That is my opinion about our discussion today. That is my opinion.
All right. Thank you.
So why can't the Caribbeans and the Nigerians unite?
I'll respond to you.
No.
I'll
Let Jay
respond to
finish.
you, and I'll say this: that in your conversation, you did other us, and that has been my experience working with a
How did
lot
I
of.
do that, sir?
He's still
Okay,
talking.
you said first of all, you guys, you people, you're tethered.
Yeah, but that's the language that you guys use. This is
No,
your
that's
language.
Yeah, but
othering.
aren't we wrong and you're
That's
right?
othering.
That makes no
This is
sense.
your
To
language.
frame,
You don't seem
let
to
me finish.
understand.
But let me finish.
You're
To frame
directly
this
addressing somebody,
conversation,
and then you're saying
yeah, to frame
Yeah.
this conversation, and I'm gonna put it in context. We entered into this dialogue to talk about the identity of people of African descent in this country
Mm,
first.
okay.
The diaspora is secondary to that.
Okay.
That is the purpose of this dialogue. But I think if
Fair
you
enough.
want to enter this dialogue, you should not come in a condescending way. And I think everybody agrees with me. You were
Okay, fair enough.
condescending.
But I'm not trying
And
to
I
be
think that,
condescending.
yeah, and I think that that is part of the problem with the identity of people of African descent in this country. Everybody thinks they have a say in who we are, what we do, or what we don't do. And I rail against. I have a problem with that, and that's why I'm speaking to this.
Do you realize
He's
that
still
if
talking.
you, as intelligent as you are, had a voice because of your intelligence, and you wanted to speak to the Africans in Africa about what you idiocy that goes on, because it's it's idiocy. If there's idiotic practices that are going on in Africa, do you think that somebody like yourself won't be able to point that out? And if you pointed it out accurately, that we won't argue you.
He's still talking. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
the
See, this won't work with my president. Like, dude, you're just trying to find ways to keep talking, man. Shut up. Your 30 seconds are over. Let somebody else talk.
Black Americans that are doing the majority of the othering is what I'm putting to you.
I disagree with you.
Well,
And
you
that's
may
not my
disagree,
experience.
but
So
I'm
let me,
putting that
and
to you.
I'll speak to my
Definitely
experience.
project.
I'll speak to my experience having represented the president of Nigeria and working with Nigerian politicians and businessmen. I have a more of an extensive background than you think. I have 2 degrees from Howard University, a master's in public policy. I worked on
As you said
presidential.
before, so
Let me
bloody what?
finish. Let me
So
finish.
what?
Let me finish. See, you're condescending again.
No,
Right,
I'm
right,
not
right.
condescending.
Like,
I'm
he's
just
still
telling you
yo.
what I see.
This is what tethers do, man. This is why I mute them. So for you guys who give me as part of the lineage, that's of the lineage, for you guys to give me slack for muting these guys from behaving like him, ruining the show. Shame on you. You have to mute them. You have to. They make you mute them. They talk a lot on purpose. And then, like I told the dude yesterday, I said, look, you're purposely trying to get me to kick you off. I'm muting him. He's unmuting and he is so good with unmuting himself in like 1 second. I muted him to say one thing. He unmuted himself fast enough to beat me to say what I was going to say. I'm like, damn, he must get muted a lot wherever he goes. He perfected the mute button. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, damn, dude, I muted him. I go to talk. He unmuted himself and still beat me to the punch. I'm like, damn, I'm sitting there like amazed, like, wow, this guy's an expert on unmuting. I'm like, well, shit, the only thing now is I got to just kick you off. Disrespectful and entitled. I mute him on the FBA News and Update podcast. He said he's called in. You got to do. You can't. He still did what he wanted to do. You got to, family, you got to mute these people. Trust me, you got to mute them.
I'm explaining myself to you,
let her finish,
and I'm giving you some information here. Either you want it or you don't. I've worked in Africa. My boss on the Hill was on the committee that oversaw funding for African programs, interacted with a lot of heads of African states. And it was a substantial African population at Howard University.
Okay.
And I'm telling you, and I said it at the outset, and I addressed it, and I was very clear. I said, if we could ask the ancestors of all the people of African descent, how do they see us in the diaspora versus those on the continent? I said that they would probably say they see us as children of the same family, suffering from the same trauma, just in a different way.
Yes.
And that there would be no othering involved in it. That is, and that we need a globally respected African identity. The African Americans or Black Americans, whatever term we agree or disagree on, we can't do that. You left your continent. The people on the continent of Africa have to get their act together enough to be able to uplift all people of African descent globally.
I agree.
We can just plug into it in a different way. It should be the economic hub, the economic source and resource for all people of African identity. But first, we have to agree on who's in the diaspora, what are we in the diaspora, how we plug into the diaspora, and who we are as individuals. This whole question of identity comes from within first, and then it's defined further by the community that you belong to. We build a rich
I agree
history
with that. You see, the thing is, I agree with
He's
what
still
you just
talking.
said. But I believe that, if I may, I
No, be
believe that
quiet.
Black Americans are the ones who are really, Caribbean and America are closer in terms of their history than the Africans on the
Yeah,
continent.
he is scamming
But
them. They keep talking more and more and more.
For one moment.
Let him finish his point. But see, here's a critical point that I want
let me
you
finish my point as you said, sir.
Yeah. Oh,
Sir.
okay, go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
damn, Kwame, you're not even appreciated over there. Kwame, you know you're dumb, right? Ain't no way I'm on a podcast and I'm barely speaking because I know too much just to not talk, to not contribute. You're quiet, dude. You can't speak on nothing. And Ditso is just a Ditso. He's quiet too. He don't know diddly. Ditso don't know diddly.
Now, the pride or I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the in pride of the Black American, others, the Caribbean. And this makes me scratch my head because the Caribbeans.
They other us. They're
no,
other,
that's unfortunate. That means that means all we're doing is tit for tat.
I think everybody here.
Yeah, and then they minimize their disrespect as tit for tat.
With me, I said at the beginning.
Listen, family, they don't expect us to defend ourselves. When they throw shade, we just got to take it and take the high road. They don't want us to go low with them, like Lil Jon and East Side Boys. You dig? We're going low. We're going lower. We're going to the window, to the walls. You dig? That's what once you disrespect for us, we're going low. We're going Bernie, the weekends at Bernie, low. We're going Limbo low. We're going East Side and Lil Jon low and lower to the windows to the wall. We're not going to let nobody talk greasy about us. We're going to take that thing to a new level. So don't open that floodgate.
Kendrick Lamar said he's not like us. I know for a fact that the majority of Jamaicans and African and people from Africa here say we're not like y'all. We're not like you.
Hold on. Can I intercede?
Reaction Media TV, Renaissance Woman.
Come on, I need to.
Leonard.
So I think
FBA
that
Independent.
you all on the continent and dynasty, even in Ghana, there's a term that they have for African Americans. Am I right?
William Boy.
No, they don't. A brony. Well, I'm not Ghanaian, but a brony.
Brony just means foreigner. They use it for
that's all it means.
That's
all it means.
Yeah.
Stop being sensitive.
Who's being sensitive?
It's not that.
You
brother.
are. You
I'm
are
being factual.
It just means foreigner though. It goes for any foreigner. Even foreigners that were born in Ghana that go to the UK, they come back, they call them a brony. It just means something foreign.
What I'm saying is this: that we have a greater sense of belonging to the diaspora than the people on the African continent and those that were raised in Africa.
I have
we don't other you. You all other us.
I'm sorry. Can I please say something?
Hold on. I haven't spoken for a while. I want to ask.
Nah, but you got people that haven't spoken at all. No, you're not interjecting. Let somebody else talk.
Damn, Ditso.
Yeah, we got two people on the
panel. You get no love.
Okay, hello. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so yes, I am Black American, and yes, I can trace back my ancestry. I found one of my ancestors. He was born in 1795. So yes, I am Black American, and if you look up the plantation, it's in Shady Jail, Jasper County, Georgia. So yes, I know I'm Black American. But yes, I was just gonna say that I understand that some of us want to delineate, but we have all these names: ADOS, FBA,
there we go.
U.S. Freedmen, and then not only that, you have the Hebrew Israelites, Moors and stuff.
They'll say,
on. Oh, I'm not no FBA.
Yeah,
I'm a
but
Hebrew
so
Israelite.
what?
So it's like, what's the use? It's going to be in 5 years, it's going to be another term for.
But that's none of your business. That's none of your concern. And that's why they say family, the lineage. Okay, that's not the term. When I say the lineage family, that's not our term. That's just what it's about. So when they get caught up on the names, FBA, ADOS, you see what they're doing, right? Oh, the Hebrews, it's like, you're right. But what do they all have in common? They all say it's about who? The lineage. So let's just focus on the lineage then. If it all comes back, all of those terms, well, the ADOS, the U.S. Freedmen, and FBA, all of them are attempting to label what? They're labeling the lineage. So it all comes back down to the lineage. Doesn't matter what it's called. we're talking about the same people. That's my argument for Adolf. That's my argument for U.S. Freedmen. That's my argument for FBA. It comes back down to the lineage. You're either in our lineage or you're not. No matter what name you want to hijack, co-op, cosplay, are you of the lineage?
For African Americans, Black Americans, me, I prefer to call myself Black American. I really don't care what anybody feels, because FBA are saying that, oh, we're not going by Black American anymore, when our ancestors had called themselves that, Black American or African American. So I just don't understand. It's going to be another term in another 5 to 10 years. I guarantee you it. So if you want to delineate, we need to come up with.
Whoa, you can only guarantee it because people like you are going to sabotage and just mess up the name and extend it to tethers like Black and African American and Black American.
Another name that everyone agrees with, because some Adolfs don't want to be called FBA. Some FBA don't want to be called Adolfs. So what's the point? Just call yourself Black Americans and that's it. We're making stuff so complicated. We're making it complicated, and it doesn't need to be like that. So that's all I wanted to say.
Let me pass it to woman. Go ahead, woman. Unmute yourself, woman.
Hi, good afternoon, Dinus. I just wanted to say to all of the non-FBA people that are speaking, I'm going to kind of begrudgingly agree with the FBA on the panel. We have no reason to be involved in this discussion because the reality is these people have no clue who or what they are. Being a Pan-Africanist and wanting good for Black people doesn't mean you have to involve all Black people, because there are some Black people, like the people on this panel right now who call themselves FBA, that are going to be in direct opposition to everything that you're trying to do. And for people like that, you let them go on their way. There's no reason to try and pull them in and draw them in. There's no reason to try and have discussions with them, because the reality is in this United States of America, where I am right now as a tether, these Black people calling themselves FBA have absolutely zero power. Black American men, the ones who are calling themselves FBA, who want to delineate, quote unquote, traditionally have been led by white liberal women. Our last election shows us that. Let me finish speaking, please. Yes, our last election shows us that precisely, that these Black men in America who are foundational Black American men are led by white women. So we don't have any reason to be involved in their nonsense. Let them talk their nonsense, let them delineate, let them go on their way, because the decisions that they make have absolutely zero effect on what we do in America or anywhere else in this world as Black people. They hold no power. The most powerful FBA in America right now is a joke, and that would be Barack Obama.
She just said Obama is a powerful FBA. These tethers are just inherently stupid and just disrespect. We have no power. And this is what they want to believe. And the minute ICE knock on her Black ass door by name and call her out, they'll be appealing for FBAs to come help them.
He's a complete joke. He has no respect.
He's not FBA, but go ahead.
Well,
she know that.
Well, isn't his mother part of an American citizen?
His mother's a white woman.
She know that. She know that.
Well, again, led by white feminists. Okay, how about Puff Daddy? That was another powerful Black FBA in America. And look at him right now. Look at how he has fallen.
Woman, real quick. I was having this conversation with somebody the other day. The most powerful FBA right now is Al Sharpton.
Okay, exactly. Even worse. Thank you, Dinus. That's even worse. That is even worse. Thank you, Dinus, for pointing that out. So as I said before, I'm gonna hop off because I have something to get done right now. But to Jagoon and anyone else who is trying to understand, quote unquote, FBA, or who's trying to talk.
Woman, I'm sorry. The most powerful FBA is actually Clarence Thomas.
I wouldn't say he's the most powerful, but I don't know if he would identify himself as FBA. Does he?
Well, per their definition of FBA, Clarence Thomas would be FBA.
He is FBA, but I don't know if he would identify himself in that way. But you're correct.
How would you just describe that title to people that you don't know that would either?
I'm talking. Woman, you need to read his book. It's called My Grandfather's Son, and he talks about his roots in Savannah and sharecropping. And so, Clarence Thomas would be the most powerful FBA.
He does hold a lot of power because the court right now, leans conservative.
Clarence Thomas is the most powerful black man.
Y'all know what the definition is.
He is, but Vovo, can I please respond to Dynas? You're absolutely right. He is a very powerful FBA right now, but Black American men, the FBA men, are not following Clarence Thomas. That's not who they're following. So while he does hold a lot of power, he's not the leader for Black American men. If he was, I might have more respect for FBA, but that's not who they're following. That's not who they're seeing as a leader within the community. And on that note, like I said,
hey,
FBA
I ain't
America,
gonna
they
cap,
hold no.
yo. Tether women are the most dangerous. Just like white supremacist women always been more dangerous than white supremacist men. Yeah.
A leader within the community. And on that note, like I said, FBA in America, they hold no power. They can't get rid of the so-called tethers. They hold no power to kick us out, to stop us from working and making our money and raising our family and using America for what it's good for, which is making money and then sending it back home. They hold no power. They can't do anything to us. So it doesn't make any sense for us to have any discussions with them about anything. And on that note, I wish you all a good weekend.
Okay, you guys, can I just
No, hold on. Go ahead, Marie. Go ahead, Marie.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Marie. Or that. Go ahead, Audrey. Go ahead, Audrey.
Yes. So I understand that we want like a blueprint. We do need that sort of blueprint on how to get us as FBAs stronger, right? Because she would not have said what she said, right? She would not have had that power if we were stronger. So one thing I am big on is going back to school for mechanical engineering, chemical engineering, uh, civil engineering, right? And the trades, right? I myself am an HVAC technician, right? So I think that is very, very important. So we can build here. We have our neighborhoods in place, right? We have places we have entire empty I want to warehouses go home. and It's 6:18. Right?
Oh, Marie, you
Things
want
that
let me.
we can go in and refurbish or rebuild, right? We can rebuild our own neighborhoods. We can tear down the house, completely rebuild it, right? We have
Okay, so
infrastructure
I
in
finally
place,
found my
right?
damn
So
super chat.
now we have
All
to
right.
encourage our children. Hey, you can't just go off and say, hey, I want to be a nurse, right? It's time that we have to reconstruct, right? We have to say, hey, this is what you're going to school for, right? And I think we need to focus on that. And then we can then be empowered and say, okay, now we're the next, Elon Musk or whoever, So I think that portion, just knowing what to go to school for, that way we can help our neighborhoods, and that way we can, in turn, help the diaspora. Because me, I do consider myself Pan-African. I love our people worldwide, and I do have respect no matter what a person's nationality is, race, right? But at the same time, I understand that when those people are here, like her, she was disrespectful. That's how they have all been. And we wouldn't have this discussion that we're having if they had been accepting of us. When they come and move into our neighborhoods, they don't want to talk to us. Their kids don't want to play with our kids. Okay? So
This stuff is not true, bro. Y'all just be making these sweeping
I'm in
generalizations that are
Florida.
not true, bro.
I'm in Florida, so this is just as much of a melting pot as California. And I work with Hispanics, mostly Hispanics here.
There's no
And they
such
treat us
thing
But
as
like
again,
Hispanic.
but you can't. Okay, so you have to look at every different nationality and ethnicity that you come with and actually do the background on their history. Certain demographics are gonna have certain relationships. It's not the
everybody
same.
is not
Full
a
stop with
tether.
everybody. You making these
Everybody
What are we
generalizations.
doing right
is
now?
not a
What
tether.
are we
Seeing the
doing?
comparisons. Seeing the
Everybody is not
Hey,
a
comparisons.
real
tether.
quick,
I'm
somebody
seeing
say,
a way that we
Jay,
can strengthen ourselves, which is to go back to school for engineering. Mechanical engineering
we
is the
ain't talking
hardest.
about that right now, sis.
Yeah,
I'm saying I just want to
That's not
throw
what
that
we're
in
talking
there
about.
because
But
The
I know this is a
conversation
big
is about
panel,
Jay, I'm gonna
and
get
that's
out of
all
here.
I
I'm
want
gonna
to
get
say.
out of here, y'all. I've been on here. Can I speak to Jay?
okay,
Brother Jay.
good.
yeah.
Jay, if
Good
I
night,
could,
y'all. I love y'all.
Jay,
Yeah.
you got your
you
phone in your
too,
hand,
sis.
right? Jay,
Yeah. Hold on.
can you
Hold on.
visit officialfba.com and read what we're saying? You seem like a.
I did look at it a bit before I got on.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to take.
What I said is I hadn't heard of it.
Let me just get this off, and you can do whatever you want to say.
What I said about FBA, I hadn't heard of it until Dinus talked to me about it. That's what I said.
No, when you said FBA and all that. No, did you read the whole website? Just read.
No, I did.
Can you do that? And I would like to speak with you on a later date. I know you're going to agree with what we're saying. We speak about Africa.
From what I've heard, I agree because it.
But
when I'm proposing. Let me finish. What I'm saying, my postulate, that's what I'm going to take it a step further.
The wording is off. The wording is off, sir. That's what we're trying to say, sir. The wording is off. The way you're phrasing it, the way you're on the right track.
Yeah, I'm not. Okay, let's be clear. Dr. Fatima Jackson came up with that concept. I like it because I think it encompasses.
But she's not the only one.
Well, but I'm saying I think it works. But let's talk about it further. But I'm not in disagreement with what you're saying.
I have a question for you. When you say foundation of Black American,
bro, this is not.
Hold on, I'm going to ask you about your thing. When you say, Bobo, when you say foundation of Black, Bobo, I know you are xenophobic against me, and I know you hate me.
You just not black.
And I know so, but you have no respect, Bobo.
Your opinion really don't matter to me.
No. Bobo, here's the challenge: 1-on-1, you versus me in regards of Western Hemisphere.
You're going to lose. All you're going to do, you're not about to troll me. I'm not about to. I don't pay attention to that.
No, because you're too afraid to have an intellectual conversation against me.
Excuse me. Can I ask Jay a question?
Hold on.
Yeah. Well, Jay, hold on. Go ahead, Mr. Man. Answer that question, because
Jay is kind of inclusive of economics, but I'm glad you understand sort of what the FBA and the muddying of the waters I said earlier about.
Yeah.
But this is my question to you: Do you still have contacts at Howard?
Yeah.
Okay, so. You know, one of the things that I did was go back to Howard and try to talk with the business school so that they could create an alliance with some of the African businessmen, kingdoms, and governments. So if you have those alliances and you're in touch with them, maybe it's a possibility that what you can do is say, the students at Howard can do
where's she at? Where's she go?
6-week internships or something like that in respect with every aspect, but specifically business.
If I can interject, Howard is more concerned.
Yeah, Tamarka, we had touched on the African Union.
Feminism, like
who's that? Whose concern is that?
It's Howard.
Howard? Okay. Well, okay. So let's just focus on.
So Tamarka, I don't know when you came in, but we had addressed the African Union trying to tether on to reparations. I've read their website, their objectives, and things like that.
The business school, the B school.
I think
if you can create some of those.
I think 40% of Howard's population is from Africa.
Okay, so it should be easy if you're able to do that. That's all I wanted to ask, if whether you're able to create some connections along with Dinus.
And the African Union,
I think Dinus
they said that they wanted to take lead on the reparations
well, that's a
movement.
solution.
And I said no.
To say that
if you want to involve us, you take a back seat and you join what we got going.
To that point, I'm saying
not even join, just back us up. Just promote it.
Identity feeds
any funding we need or any
I like the word foundation.
Signal boosting. You can help us with
everything stands on a foundation.
Spreading the message about FBA and ADOS. And then what we'll do in return is once we're done and get our check and get what we need, we will back you up with your
I want to focus here
global reparation case.
Western Hemisphere,
but now it's first things
America,
first.
What you probably call Americas, North, Central, Caribbean, and South. I want to focus here right now. First question. Is the term American an endonym or an exonym to us?
Now, this is Ditso. Ditso's a nut. Ditso don't know diddle. And I guarantee, I never watched this thing, but I guarantee they end up muting them or kicking them off. Like every other panel does.
It's an exonym. Every term that they've created is
I asked Jay, could you please, everybody, I want to have a one-on-one real quickly with Jay.
You see, so they don't want answers. They want one-on-one gotcha questions because they expect us to know everything about everything. And when we know, and when we're honest and say we don't know something, they be like, really? Really? You don't know that one thing?
Exonym. So if we recognize that the term American is an exonym, and to those here, just to rhetorically ask, anybody on the panel can say in a very short, concise way what exonym means. What is an
Exonym means a name that somebody named.
So he's trying to do a gotcha moment where FBAs don't know what that is. Oh, you guys don't deserve reparations. You guys can't delineate. This gotcha stuff. Hoping somebody didn't know.
You that's outside of your culture, ethnicity, or demographic.
Thank you. Thank you, Sideways. So
It's Dwyer, not Sideways.
I'm sorry. What was it?
Dwyer. Dwyer.
Dwyer.
Yeah.
I apologize for pronouncing wrong your name. Okay, as Dwyer said, an exonym is a name that was given to us. Okay. So Jay, second question.
Could you just check dogs?
In the context of Western Hemisphere, when the slavery was starting from early 1500s or 11500s, where were the majority of slaves from 11500 up to mid 1800s?
That was South America.
Sidway, can we just stay with Jay for a moment?
Do you want answers or not? Does it have to come from one FBA? Do you want the answers or not? See, again, this is a disingenuous, bad faith questioning. Like, you're a fake detective.
Where were those majority of slaves deposited into this place that was called America?
Caribbean and South America.
Okay.
In the West, but it wasn't America at that point in time. When it started, it wasn't America.
Actually, if we look at the Walsey Muller's map, 1510, that's within 10 years after the arrival.
It couldn't have been America because you had French and Spanish and Portuguese territories.
Okay. The first time the term American was used on a map to refer to this new world was 1510 on the Walsey Muller's map. So
that's one source. That's one source.
Yeah, but that's the first map. We have evidence, anthropological evidence, that it was the first time the term American was used.
Do you think the Portuguese called it America?
Yes, the Portuguese. Actually, we have records of Portuguese.
So you're Portuguese?
No. That does non sequitur. Anyhow, the Portuguese, the Spaniards.
You said we after Portuguese. So I'm seeking clarification.
No. I'm referring to academia. My background is anthropology, archaeology, as well as sociology, mainly based off the historical analysis of Western Hemisphere.
Okay, then you should have value in this conversation.
So, in this sense, we know that the term American was used as, for example, Hispanoamerica, referring to the areas controlled by Spain. Libero-America.
I just think it was Hispaniola. I doubt if they said Hispan. I may be wrong.
No. They called it Hispanoamerica. So the whole area controlled by Spaniards were referred by as that. Libero-America were referred to the areas controlled by the Portuguese. Then you have the British America, which was controlled by the British. Then you have the French America, or the Franco America, which was referred. So, anyhow, I digress. Point being here is that
it's good information.
If we can agree that the terminology American is an exonym, then we have to ask ourselves how we constructed that identity, and why is it that the U.S. citizens are arbitrarily monopolizing the term American in the Western Hemisphere?
Well, I can answer for me if you want me to answer.
Yeah.
I had a very esteemed professor, Dr. Vincent Orange at Howard University. He was Ralph Bunche's executive assistant and head of the Ralph Bunche Foundation. And one thing he taught me is that in academia, you operationalize any term that you use. I've operationalized America by within the context of Dr. Jackson's definition, legacy North African Americans. So yeah, and so being the dominant, and then if you want to speak to the Euro Americans or that are here in the United States, I think it's just a dominant culture, and they exercise that power to do so. So yeah, I mean,
the term for when it comes to Americans, quote unquote, monopolizing the identity. I think it literally just stems from we're the only country over here that has has America as official title for the country with the United States of America. So when Americans think you're saying America, that's what they think you mean as an American.
No other. United States of America being the driving word of, which is a word that refers to accepting that there was something bigger than the United States. So
no, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that the basis of why they're doing it is sound right and logical. I'm saying I'm giving you the reason why. Why when in Americans' mind, when they say American, that's what they're saying. It's not. You're not going to hear somebody from Ecuador call themselves an American. That's a colloquialism. They're not going to use that term. They're going to say Ecuador.
American.
So I've never heard of Mexico call themselves.
They're not gonna do that.
Mexican.
Yeah,
I never heard somebody from Belize call themselves American.
I've heard enough people here. We use the term, the global term, Central American, to refer to the 7 countries of Central American. We refer to Mexico as a combination of Central and North American. We refer to South Americans as.
That's
what you act like we don't interact with these people.
I'm speaking. I've never heard a Latino from Central America refer to themselves as Central America. They're either Belize, they're from Honduras, they're from El Salvador, Guatemalan. I've never heard that. So stop it.
Just like you said, like anybody from the United States says, I'm from Arkansas, I'm from California.
He has an agenda. He's being disingenuous. He has an agenda.
You're trying to establish.
He's being disingenuous.
Your point, and as I said, and clearly, I've operationalized it for my discussion and my view, and it simply means, and I'm gonna go back, and and let's bring it back on course. Native born people. Let me finish. Native born people here. That's
okay.
It.
Let me pass it.
Operationalize it.
Yeah, I'm gonna pass it. I gotta pass it.
Another day we'll have that conversation because it's deep.
Okay. I'm not gonna talk with people who are talking over me when I make my point here. I've been listening for about an hour now about this whole thing about foundation, Black America, and this and that and the other. And for me, what it does in my consciousness.
They need to ask her where she's from because she's giving strong Jamaican energy. She's giving strong Jamaican energy. Very, very strong Jamaican energy.
Further spurs division. I know through historical reference.
Division from what? Okay. Can you divide 1 and it be a whole, and your answer be a whole number? Can you divide 2 and it be a whole number? Yes. But you can't divide 1 and it be a whole, your answer be a whole number. It'll be a decimal. Okay, so you can't divide what was never whole. Or you can't divide something. Can't. It has to be a whole. We were never a whole.
Is that everything began in what they now call Africa.
Shit. You could tell she's new to the spaces about FBA. Like Kwame said, this is a Pan-Africanist channel. She about to put her whole foot, crusty toes, old toenails in her mouth. Watch. They're going to cook her. I just sensed that. But I would ask where she's from.
And for example, I'm going to give an example. A Chinese man or Indian man comes to America and their children are born in America. What do they call them? Chinese American, right? They call them
Yeah, aren't they
Asian American.
immigrants though? Exactly. That's a
So
term for
I
immigrant.
get confused when these people are now starting something else, causing, more division of FDA. And I believe, and I acknowledge the sister that was talking about FBAs have no political power at all. And I heard someone say
Just
Clarence Thomas
slander and hatred.
is the most powerful, but nobody follows him because he's not creating a
Yeah, she
way
definitely got
for melanated people
non
to be
FBA.
powerful
Yeah,
in this society.
Aesthetics.
I feel the only way, well, one of the key ways that we can build our power, because we spend trillions of dollars in this society alone, and there's nothing, they still be killing us, they still be.
I don't know if I can hear my background. Maybe you can't. Maybe this headset is great. Let me know if y'all can hear my background with the lawnmower in the back. Cause if not, then I'll talk. That's why I'm going on mute. I'm going to mute because of that. So let me know if y'all can hear the lawnmower in the background. And I'll stay on mute until they go to the other side. And then I'll continue with the show. So I'm playing this because of that. All right.
Redlining, us as a people. And I feel unity, excuse me.
No, I'm just asking.
Unity, excuse me, excuse me.
Okay, so this is another long tether rant where nobody can question, nobody can oppose, nobody can object. Just let them rant their hatred for another 10 minutes. And they get mad as hell when you question them and their hatred.
Just to make a few points that you can
okay, y'all don't
think
hear it?
about.
All right, cool. I'll talk to you.
First of all,
you Jamaican, ma'am? You Jamaican?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Tariq just did a show. I just watched. Yeah, he did a premiere. I just watched I think yesterday when I was walking home from the store. So thanks for super chats. I had definitely took care of some groceries because of that. Yeah, but when I was coming back from there, I was watching a premiere. I was catching up on his stuff, and he said, "Why do tethers get angry when you ask them where they from?" It's like, don't remind me. They get traumatized. Like, yo, what's up with that, man? You ask them where they from, and they get triggered. Like they had a bad experience, like something happened, some trauma. So they asked her, where are you from? It doesn't matter. So we know, FBAs never do that. Even though if they don't call themselves FBA, even if they hate FBA and hate all, they still say, hey, I'm because they don't want to be ostracized out of the lineage. So they say, my family's from Virginia. Only tethers say it doesn't matter. So we know. And then by her mouth, we know.
Black, I am a melanated woman.
Yeah, that's a good question, FBA Independent. We should ask them. You hate when we ask where you're from. So dog meat or dog food? Which one you more familiar with? Then we know.
Doesn't matter if I'm Jamaican, Puerto Rican, or none of that shit. Because wait, hold on. Once the Babylon pull you over, they're not asking you if you're.
She's Jamaican 100%. That's their talking point, the Babylon stuff. Babylon, I've spoken that many times. That's their thing, the whole Babylon spill. She's 100% Jamaican. And if I'm wrong, at any chance I'm wrong, she's definitely from the islands, West Indies. But I'm going to say Jamaican.
Once the I'm Jamaican, Puerto Rican, I am a melanated woman. It doesn't matter if I'm Jamaican, Puerto Rican, or none of that shit. Because wait, hold on. Once the Babylon pull you over, they're not asking you if you're friggin' Nigerian or you're Belizean or Jamaican or whatever.
Yeah, how is it possible, family? How is it possible for every tether to use the same example? You see the FBA, you can see Jason Black, you can see Dr. Claude, you can see Professor Truth, you can see myself, you can see Afro Elite Red Supreme, you can see all of Phil Scott, Urban Politics TV, you can see if you got in the chat, even Shabazz who called in, you see even Lex Vortex, you see we all got, look at ex-architect earlier cooking filled peas. You see, we all got different arguments. We all argue different stuff, different analogies, different everything. How is it possible that they all use the same arguments? Like I believe there's a website out there for tethers, and it's like the Catholic Church. They have like these rebuttals, or the Jehovah's Witness when they come to your door and you try to argue back, but they got these clever rebuttals. I believe they have though. I think it's called catechisms. I believe there's a tether catechism type thing where there's a website, like there's a memo where they like recite the same arguments, analogies, and talking points. She said, if Babylon pulls you over, they're not going to ask if you're Nigerian and things like that. Ma'am, my response to you is, why am I in the car with you in the first place? And then secondly, why are we getting pulled over? I'm going to say Babylon is pulling us over because of you. You're the informant. So that's why they don't differentiate right in front of me. We watch undercover shows. They act like they lock us both up and act like, but they'll let you go and they'll give you a cookie and say, hey, yeah, thank you. So that's my rebuttal to that. Why are we getting pulled over in the first place? And why would you ever be in the car with me? Why? Make that make sense. Only if you're like, okay, maybe she's Ubering, right? She's a Lyft driver. That's the only way I can see myself in the car with her. She's my Lyft driver, and we get pulled over. Why are they? It still ain't talking to me. It's talking to you. Like, you're the person with the traffic violation. Like, these are dumb, stupid analogies and examples that we really never address once and for all. Why and how is it possible I'm in a car with you, other than you being my Lyft driver or Uber driver? How's that, or bus driver? How's that possible?
Miss me with that, okay? Miss me with that.
So Volvo, we got other people on the
Miss me
panel.
with it, because it doesn't. What does it do? So what if I say I'm Jamaican? So much if I say I'm Nigerian. So what?
Get back on topic. Get back on topic. Go ahead.
Yes. So thank you, Dinus. So I just want people to understand that all of these different names.
Ma'am, did you just say overstand? Okay, if we got to overstand it, that means we didn't get it. That means we didn't comprehend it. Okay, that's your problem. You're overstanding stuff. I need you to understand stuff, comprehend stuff. Do that for us, please.
And everything was not given by us. They were given by the colonizer. And yes, the colonizers did colonize Africa too, as well as Central America, North America, the Caribbean, which is in the Americas, So we need to really put on our unification mindset. We really, really do, in order to overcome these different things that we are facing in this so-called United States of America. Let me tell you something. You see that whole ICE thing? You think because you were born here in America that you're protected?
Oh my God. Now we're doing the ICE scare tactic. Oh my God. Oh God. No, man. We don't think that we were born here, we're protected. We think because we are birthright, we earned our birthright citizenship through war against the Confederates in a deal with Abraham Lincoln and the 14th Amendment being passed, we believe that is why we're protected from ICE.
Yes.
You're not.
Yes.
You're
Yes.
not protected at
Yes,
all.
we are.
Yes.
How?
ICE ain't never been a law enforcement against us. The CIA done did stuff to us. The FBI, the DEA, ICE. I'm not an immigrant. I don't have any immigrants in my family. Where are they going to deport me to?
Excuse me.
Atlanta.
Excuse me,
Alabama, Memphis, Cleveland, Ohio.
My brother.
Anywhere but Cleveland.
Can I finish?
Well, you asked the question.
What question did me ask?
You asked.
Well, first of all, it's not what question did me ask. That's why we know you're not one of us. We don't talk like that. You did like grade school. You know, that's even even my son won't say some shit like that. He's 3. He won't say what question did me ask. He'll say her did it, him did it, but he won't go that low. All right. So you didn't ask the question. You made a stupid ass statement. Well, the question was afterwards that you think we're safe. So from ICE, we said yes, and we explained why.
Do I think ICE is gonna? Am I safe from ICE? Yes, I'm safe from immigrations and customs and.
You think so?
100%. 100%.
No, you're not, because
100%.
just the other day, they picked up a person who was a citizen.
Okay, you see, she changed her language. Okay, now y'all know I got a whole playlist on all of these updates. I haven't played yet. I'm gonna play some time today. You know, I'm gonna do a long live today. It's Sunday, but I got a playlist of all these events. When they say citizen, right, that's a trick back from the liberals to believe an American citizen, right? That's not first gen, second gen, or had to immigrate over here. Okay, so yes, those people that are first gen, second gen, or gain citizenship here after the 14th Amendment, those folks are being picked up. Those guys, when they say citizen, they're talking about those people. That's not going to work.
Of the more than one person who was a citizen of the United States.
Now, and the United Snakes, man, if this is Babylon, I don't know who voluntarily comes to Babylon, who voluntarily comes to United Snakes. I don't know. We didn't volunteer this trip over here. You dig? If it's so bad, why would you leave heaven to come to Babylon?
Of America. It doesn't. Oh,
hold on. One mic. No, one mic. I need. So when you make statements like that, Miss Kufunya, I need references.
I will send it to you.
Okay.
I will send you the references. And the other thing is that this whole. I'm not for division, Dinus. I think when I look at
seconds,
you.
man. I gotta pass the mic. 30 seconds.
Okay, I'm gonna land my plane.
God damn.
Would you like to say something, my sister? Okay. My whole thing is that when I look at my brother from anywhere, as long as he has melanin in his facial recognition, they're my brother, they're my sister. But the thing that is causing the division, once again, is the colonizer in a very slick way. So my whole thing is unity, is strength. We have spent trillions of dollars here.
No, Daddy working.
FDA has no power, and there's no such thing as a black land. There is no such thing. Black denotes no land base, period. And I'll land my plane. And don't come after me. If you do, it's okay. But that's okay.
I got to pass the mic to Black Beauty. Go ahead, Black Beauty. Go ahead, Black Beauty. Go ahead, Black Beauty. Black Beauty.
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me? Because my plug-in mic is not coming up, so I'm on the regular laptop.
We hear you. Go ahead.
All right. I was just saying he could ask this question, but my question was for you, Donis, because I didn't even know about this thing. You said ANA. What is that?
Speak to the Prince. Talk to Prince. You
okay.
Yourself, Prince.
So now I know y'all caught.
Yeah.
I know y'all caught her using our slang. She's using literally FBA slang. Land your plane. We all know who made that popular. Okay, so we know who she listens to we know who she listens to every day. Who she listens to every day. I land my plane. Like they be killing us, acting like they're just so unaware of everything we got going, our talking points, our stance. And then they have at literally not Black American slang, not Adolf slang, not Friedman slang. They literally have FBA slang on their lips. My God.
Pardon me.
Black Beauty has a question for you.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Sorry, I didn't know that. Is this the man here who created Mr. Prince? I'm sorry. I just joined and I wasn't sure how the term came about.
Let me throw DSB, a Lineage wrench. DSB, give us a Lineage like. And I haven't checked the lights at all because I gave y'all the benefit of doubt that we got some decent likes in the chat. Let me go ahead and look at the likes from my lineage. People of the same lineage as myself. Let me look at these lineage likes. Let me take a sneak peek of the lineage likes. I know it got to be 97. Cause that's who's in attendance. Oh, that's embarrassing. That's embarrassing. We got 60 likes and we had 90 people. We should have 90 something likes, really. That's embarrassing. Give us a lineage like. Thank you.
American.
Hey Kwame, you're ineffective on this platform. You really said little to nothing, and everybody was cooking but you. I expected you to go in, like you said earlier in this panel. You said this is a Pan-Africanist channel, and you're a Pan-Africanist. So I expected you to go in and teach us about Pan-Africanism and things like that. Nothing. Same thing you do over here. You just learn. You just sit back and learn from FBAs. You're learning from FBAs on that panel, and you learn from FBAs on this panel. Like you really don't add nothing. You might say something clever here and there, like once in a while, but you're not as vocal as these folks are. You're not as opinionated, as expressive. You don't really add too much value to the videos. What I'm trying to say. Like I just knew I heard your voice. Okay, call me. He about to go in, and you let me down, bro.
Legacy North African Americans. It was postulated by
North Americans in the title. So which one is it? North African Americans or which one?
I said legacy North African Americans.
All right. Okay. Is that your term that you created?
Fly man hits. Yeah. Now they caught up on terms we created. Yo, just what? All right. Listen, family. Let me just show y'all something real fast. Now we got it. So let me just recap real fast. So I read the African Union website. I read two places. I read what they're about, the history, how they started. They came out of the OUA, right, in 1963 to 1999, and then from 1999 they felt like they should all come together under the name African Union. So they felt like African Union was more fitting. They felt like it was more detailed and appropriate for what they got going on, right? Don't that sound familiar? Well, we feel like FBA, ADOS, those terminologies are more fitting, more expressive, or tailor-made to what we got going on. So this is normal. People have a name, okay, and at the time it feels right. But as things grow, as more things are revealed to you, you feel like that name is outdated. So let me have a name that's more fitting to where we at today. Remember, the OAU or OUA, whatever it's called, was in 1963, and it lasted till 1999, and then they upgraded the name to the AU, African Union. But when we do it, it's a big issue. Just tether hatred. Anyway, so what we learned from there is that the AU took it from there to where we are now. We also learned, come on, man, come over here. Come on. We also, hey, sit down. Sit down. Hey, sit down. Okay, sit down. So we also learned that they want to lead. They want to lead the reparations movement. That well, the global reparations movement, what they call it. They want to lead it. They want to be the leaders. They want to link up with Pan-Africanists of the world. They want to link up with other Africans and things like that. But they don't want to link up with no American current reparations movements like ADOS or FBAs. But they want us to join. And they admitted, where are these? When tethers come in the chat, it'd be hella flies to start coming. Hey, but they admitted that come over here, get over here. Okay, but they admitted this though. This is what Tethers gonna hate, Kwame. They sit down, sit. They admitted that it was called the transatlantic slave trade, not the transatlantic slave trade. Okay, so they're trying to repair global damages from the transatlantic slave trade, not the transatlantic slave raid. Okay, which you guys like to rewrite history and make up some other shit. They know that people were sold from Africa. He's back there laying down. So they understand that people were sold from Africa by Africans. So the seller and the buyer are both equally blamed for the transatlantic slave trade. And that's why they don't want us involved in it. When they do try to come our way, they're going to try to go to NCOBRA, some Pan-Africanist group that's siding with the revision of history of the transatlantic slave trade. They don't want people that won't be easily hoodwinked to that bullshit. Okay? So that's a quick recap on that. So my assessment to that is this. Come. My counter to that is this. Come. My counter to that is no, we're not joining you, and we should not join you. Instead, you should just back us up, support us, right? We're not going to join. Support what we got going on, right? Back us up. Any education we need, any fundings we need, any advertisement we need, go ahead and do that. You guys can help make ADOS or FBA a global name, right? Outside of, we were trying to create a national name. You guys can say reparations for FBA, reparations for ADOS, whatever name you want to choose, make it like globalize the term, make it easier for us to get it out there, signal boost it for us. Okay, then in return, when the checks are cut, then we will come behind you and argue for a African global reparation claim. Or, that's what I say. I think that works that way. But we don't want to join because you guys, and the wording they use reparations for Africans, African descent, African. As I said a little earlier, Tariq just had a video where he said they want us to use the word African so they can full rank. What you mean African? You guys only 13% Nigerian, 10% Mali. What part of they could do that to us? What part of Africa you're from? No, we are the Africans. Okay, you're a lost African. No. We're gonna spearhead this movement. Down there. We're gonna spearhead this movement. Get in the back. It's not gonna work. But they had a lot of African this, African that on their website. And we know what that's about. All right. Okay. So now I want to address this now. Because somebody came by yesterday and made a big issue. This guy put the tether swatter way over there. Somebody came by yesterday and today, matter of fact, this morning, I went live this morning and made a big issue of FBA's, God, how I missed that damn fly. FBA supporting FBAs. financially, whether it's a service, because they complain about she having things for products for sale. They complain about other folks with services to sell, as though Black Wall Street can be recreated a different way, other than Black folks circulating their dollars amongst themselves. So that's to discourage us, so that they'll say you are pimping the culture when you offer services and products to your own lineage. You're pimping the culture, but everybody else in the world, they could set up Jamaican restaurants in our neighborhoods. They're not pimping the culture. They can set up Chinese restaurants, pizza, Italian restaurants, Mexican restaurants, and nobody's pimping the culture. Only when you set up a soul food spot or a fish spot, you are pimping the culture. Only when you're selling clothes, FBA owners and salons and barbershops, only we are pimping the culture. All right. So that is what they're trying to spin this to. And we're saying it ain't gonna work. What is not working. Okay, so let me do this for you. So an agent, a suspected tether, an agent, under the name Rasun, called yesterday. I should know him by his name, Rasun. Okay, called yesterday and had some like low-key hatred, passive aggressive, and all-out aggression towards us in the chat, because you guys pointed him out in the chat. Okay, then I was looking at him, so I unrinsed him, gave him a rinse, unrinsed. I was like so indecisive on this guy, like, damn, is he with us, is he not? So I literally like unrinsed him like 4 times. Like, damn, y'all could like even go back and see that. Y'all probably seen like the rinse come off and come back on. And I was so like, damn, what is he? Confused the hell out of me. So then when I asked about Garvey, I understood what he's about. So then he comes this morning, passive aggressive again. Hey, what up, family? What up, Bias? Yo, we had a great dialogue. I'm like, no, it wasn't. I had to kick you off. But whatever. We had a great dialogue. Hold on, you trying to sneak over there. Trying to like, pat my head like a dog so he could say some slick stuff, which he did. He was talking about the super chats. Why do you guys super chat them? Why do you? Because I called out Garvey being a scammer. He said, but don't people send you super chats? Don't people send you Cash App? Aren't you a scammer? Like, dude, first of all, super chat is a feature that comes with YouTube. And dig once you're monetized. And super chat and a Cash App, everybody and their mother put their Cash App and all their social media handles. It's not scam. Garvey's a scammer. When people put their Cash App there, they're saying if you find value in the content, put $1 to it, because we're sacrificing time, we're sacrificing studies and things. Like I said, I read the whole the major parts of the African Union website. That's time. That's money. I could be doing something else. So yeah, so that's a way to encourage people to keep going. I like what you're doing. Content is great. Keep going. So I want to show an example of this. All right. Let me show an example. On my side, how often I super chat people because of the same reasons. I want to encourage them to keep going. I put value on their content. All right. Watch this. And sometimes I just want to get their attention, maybe for a debate, things like that. Yes, Democrat stuff, exactly. So now let me show this. Let me disclose this real fast. Okay, so these are my super chats that I've been given, and you can see the dates. I've been a super chatter for years. Okay, and we ain't talking about Cash App, because you can't see that like this. Okay, so July 5th, 3 super chats. DJ Genesis Detroit, you probably even know who she is. A super chatted her this month. Okay, Ball is Life. We got Freeman University. I sent a super chat to Mooresboro TV. I wanted to come on this show and debate FBA business. You see the God Pod with Lord Jamore, Captain Zarv Yacht 70 Sports TV. American New Network. That's deemed as the Academy. That was academically before I realized he was a hater of us. Star Report, but you can see Super Chat, Chief X. Look, all the way down to 2021. So I've been super chatting for 4 years on record. All right. So there's nothing wrong with super chatting. All right. So let me get back to the show. Okay, give me more water. So let's get back to this. Yeah. Okay. All right.
I'm repeating myself again. It came about by Dr. Fatima Jackson, Howard University, and of the American Anthropological Society.
No, I'm sorry if you were repeating yourself. I just honestly I didn't know because I wasn't here for that part, and I was just curious even what it was.
Okay. Yeah.
Could I say this? Her work needs to be refined. I understand that you're a scholar of her work, but it needs to be refined. That's what we're saying as FBA. That's the right path.
So Bobo, actually, the purpose of this discussion is to flush it out.
Yeah, that's what we're doing with FBA. We're trying to make it tight.
Dinus, isn't that what I proposed to you? This is a discussion to flush it out. He agreed to hold this dialogue to see where it lands and how it lands.
Her work needs to be refined.
Go ahead, Black Beauty. Go ahead, Black Beauty.
Yeah, so based off of what I'm getting from these two gentlemen is that the person who determined that they were going to make this term, okay, young woman, Fatima, whatever her name is, it looked like everyone isn't in agreement of it, right? It seemed like something
she didn't propose to make it the term. It's part of a greater body of work of hers where she sought to define in a more scholarly way who we are as opposed to the rest of the diaspora. It was this was part of a broader I'm explaining it to you. It was part of a broader discussion of the African diaspora.
But what I was saying specifically during my commentary, I already asked the question that I wanted to ask you, sir. What I was saying specifically was that, I mean, what's wrong with Black? I'm kind of with Tafunya. I mean, I understand that Black is something, you know, people have problems. We're in this side of the earth. and we're not in Africa, that's what we are. We Black. Over here, we Black. So I'm not really sure, like,
Are we?
yes, we are. Absolutely.
Black just
Now
came
I know
about.
my lineage. Now I
Black
know
came about.
I didn't
There
trace
was
my
no black before the
I didn't trace
1960s.
my lineage. I
There
done
was
married my husband
there
in
was no
1990.
black before Stokely Carmichael
All that.
spoke
My daddy
in
is.
Greenville, Mississippi,
But
and
what I'm
said we're black. That's when black came about.
But I
That's
mean, but we're also it's really just all of it is conflated because then okay, so black's not good, but everything in that title, every title that you name within that list, they're all exonyms and they all have a date that's real. I mean, you could say it's more in the past than black, but I mean Africa is etymologically opaque. I mean, it's not an indigenous term from us though. American
no,
is definitely an
but it
exonym. So
speaks to our ancestral bond. That's all I'm saying.
I mean,
That's all
yeah,
I'm
but
saying.
again, it's semantics at the end of the day. You can make black do that as well. It's really, bro.
You
And
can
I'm not
operationalize
opposed to
anything.
people
You're
doing that.
absolutely correct. You're
The name
absolutely
doesn't
correct.
matter, bro. It's more about the ideals that you have and being ideologically unified. It's not about the term you use because whether we use the term black, we use the term big, we use the term anything. If our ideals and our fundamentals don't align, then we're not going to do anything productive, and that's really the problem within our community. We got people that swirlers, we got people that's with
You
other
said
agendas,
swirlers?
and just because you say you black, if you're ideologically different than mine from a fundamental basis, if you don't view yourself as a quote unquote Pan-Africanist, I don't care what you can call yourself black or whatever. If we don't share that agenda, I'm not finna unite with you in no certain
No,
civic means
but I've
because
said
we
nothing to
don't have the
disagree
same
with that.
agenda.
I've said nothing to disagree with that. I'll go back and say it at the beginning. I said that we need to agree on an identifier and go with that. I threw out what I
Yeah, I don't know what's up with the audio. Oh shit! I don't know why I did that. I'm thinking it's playing the whole time. Right? So we're having literally technical difficulties here. What the hell is that about? Let me try a new window. Maybe they deleted the video. All right, okay. All right. It's possible. I'm thinking the whole time that everything's working. Shit.
View yourself as a quote unquote Pan-Africanist, I don't care what you can call yourself black or whatever. If we don't share that agenda, I'm not finna unite with you in no certain civic means because we don't have the same agenda.
I've said nothing to disagree with that. I'll go back and say it at the beginning. I said that we need to agree on an identifier and go with that. I threw out what I proposed.
Yeah, but I mean, the identifier all encompassing? Is it just gonna encompass everybody that has the melanin content?
Everybody that has melanin.
Yeah, I'm saying
Americans have melanin. What are you
I'm talking about from an ideological standpoint. Is the term for quote unquote Pan-Africanist, or is it just for black people in general?
It's a Pan-African term. It's a term. It's unique. I'll say it again. If you were at the beginning,
I wasn't here at the beginning.
Okay, I think it identifies us uniquely based on our history and legacy in this country, and ties us into the overall diaspora. That's what I said at the beginning.
That's what FBA does. That's literally what we. I keep saying the same thing. What do you? Did you read it? Listen. One of the stars in the flag is for Africa.
Bro, nobody that has a Pan-Africanist agenda is going to unite under no term that has American in it. That's serious.
Well, guys, let me pass the mic.
The term again refers, and I'll say it again, refers to the people those of African descent born here, to separate, to highlight our unique identity as a people in this country, but part of the broader diaspora as well. I'm not saying we extricate ourselves from the diaspora.
I'm not saying you are.
Well, yeah, I can't. Yeah, I hear what you're saying, but I'm saying I can't say I'm Jamaican. I can't.
But again, these terms are these terms in themselves are problematic. Anybody that's quote unquote calling themselves a Pan-Africanist and you identify as a Jamaican, I don't. For Haiti is a whole different. Haiti is the only one where I set that aside. With that, I have no problem with that. But the other Jamaicans, Barbados, all of that other stuff, like anything that comes in a colonial context,
but why would you pull
it has to be done away with.
You might not know
why would you focus
on I don't know about that one, Sidwell. Go ahead, Jay. I got to pass it back to Brad Beauty and the Rokoya.
We defeated the colonial masters to a degree in Jamaica as well. But what I will say is, I agree with Bobo that like this is just, I think we need a simple term, something that's simpler. And I think that the African North Americans or North African Americans is even more confusing than ADOS was. And then also on top of that, I also I happen to believe that everything that Mr. Sidwaya said, I agree with him, because it's really about the agenda, right? What is everybody trying to do as Pan-Africanists? I like Black. I prefer Black. Nothing wrong with Black. Black is Black. So to me, I just don't see it, but okay, whatever you guys want to do. But I do want to say that the North African Americans or the African North Americans, I don't know which one you meant, but I think that either way, it would not be correct from a phraseology perspective, right? Because not all of us come from North Africa, right? Some people come
Again, it's an identifier for the U.S. born people of African descent here.
Okay, so
It's not airtight enough though.
So it's definitely African North Americans. It can't be North African.
Legacy North African Americans.
It can't be because we're not from
Well,
North
it
Africa.
is. It's a qualifier. People who are born native born.
I'm not from Algeria or Mauritania.
Well,
Yeah, that's confusing.
Well, you can
Right,
say
but I
that,
am
but
from the
you
North
you,
of
you you can't say to the
That was
person
the
that postulated what it is.
North of
No,
Africa.
people, when you
Legacy
say that to the
African
average
North-
person, they're gonna think you saying you're North African.
Yeah,
Like
Legacy
you're from
African North
Mauritania
Americans.
or
Legacy
Egypt.
African North Americans.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Okay, but we disagree. Move on. I'm not going.
Let me pass the mic to Record. Go ahead, Record.
Can you hear me?
Record. You're in the matrix. Record. You're on your Obama phone.
Definitely on my Obama phone.
You're on your Obama phone. We can't record you. You're not clear. You're on your Obama phone.
Okay. I'll clear it up. I'll come back later.
Okay.
I don't understand. Like, we were having a conversation about about this phrase. This is exactly what the conversation is about. But then you get frustrated, sir, and then you tell us move on. Wasn't that the whole conversation?
Well, because you're coming in on the tail end of this, and we've already been over this, and we're going on 3 hours now. I'm repeating myself over and over. That's the
Well,
point.
sir, what we're trying to do, Elder, we're trying to get you to understand that there's a problem with that term.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I never said I disagree.
Yeah, okay. No, well, yeah, that's what we're trying to get to some type of consensus.
I said that I proposed that. And, I'm multitasking here because we've been on here for 3 hours and I'm running a business. The term, legacy African North Americans is the correct term. I keep saying it's legacy African North Americans. As I said at the outset, 16 generations of exposure to slavery and Jim Crow in the United States, born here. That is the term.
Okay, now that the definition you gave is fine. Okay, cool. We can put that right there, but it's the term. It's the term. Words have meaning.
I hear that and I understand that.
And notice
you can have any opinion on it that you want to. I'm saying that to me is a good identifier, and my main thrust here is we need an identifier that most of us can agree on.
Yeah.
Can I quickly say something? Can I quickly say something? Dr. J,
yes,
I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're trying to do. But to be frank, FBA is a term I don't like. However, it has a better clarity than what you have said, to be frank. Mm-hmm. But first, in terms of delineation, to say African American or Black American, that is even more clear. That is actually clear as to the Americas in terms of USA and the plethora of ethnicities that are in that land, and then to demark the African within the Americas, the African that has been enslaved and are legitimately tied to America. You understand? So to say African American is much clearer than what you bring to the table. Much, much clearer.
Then that means Elon Musk is an African American.
I was just about to say that.
I know it doesn't, because he's not an African.
Yes, it does. He's from South Africa.
No, he's not an African.
He's from South Africa. He even said
he's not. But again, and this goes. Everything reverts back to semantics at the end of the day.
But
it is because there's a portion of Africans that just because you were born, it's the same thing with people that talk about they're not Americans. Just because you're born somewhere doesn't mean you're that.
African American, it allows for a lot of other people to come in and co-opt our experience, and that's what we're talking here.
But calling ourselves American does that. So I mean, it's like that's what I'm saying. We're speaking English. It does do that. It does.
In America,
anybody can be American.
Okay. Our experience in America has been co-opted by other folks, and we have a unique experience in America that we didn't share with the people on the continent, we didn't share with Canada, and we didn't share with the Caribbean. And it needs to be separate so we can get what we are entitled to under American law. What was it? So
this is the ploy to attempt to.
Let me finish. Then you can say, what is it, Bobo? Field Order 14?
Special Field Order 15.
Exactly. Thank you.
This is a ploy for reparations for a legal term for reparations.
Elder. That's why we shouldn't have African nowhere in the title at all.
I disagree because that's our common heritage and bond.
No, it's not.
The woman that was on here, whatever her name was, the Jamaican woman, I don't remember her name. She said, when a Chinese person comes here, what do they call them? Chinese American. They tie into their greater ancestral history, and it makes them tie into a greater, and it gives them a greater sense of pride.
That's their
reason.
Nah, y'all are doing. I thought you were doing this to create a broader identity. This is a ploy for reparations, so it makes sense now.
Reparations is included in what I'm talking about.
Nah, but this is when it comes back to ideology.
Can I finish? Can I finish? Reparations is included in all that. I said at the outset, reparations ought to be included in anything and everything that we do. It has to be included. It has. We've done it for every other single group. But I'm saying, and I major thrust, and this is the last time I'm going to say it, it goes back to the identity of how we see ourselves, how the world sees us, how we walk in the world. I said we need a global. Let me finish. We need a globally respected identity.
We already got that.
As people here, uniquely here, our experience is unique, and it needs to be referenced and codified to affirm our uniqueness, so we get our due here. And
you were alive.
Reparations is part of that.
Hold on, real fast. You were alive when Martin Luther King was alive, right?
Yeah.
Did anybody respect him as an African? No, nobody. They knew that Martin Luther King was a Black American. No, nobody said he was African.
Well, Martin Luther King said he was a Negro. So,
but what are you talking about, bro? You are an idiot.
When they said that we're selling Negroes, right?
No
name. He's an idiot, man. You are a complete and utter idiot, bro.
No name calling here, please.
When America said we're selling Negroes, your family was here for that. When they said no Negroes allowed, they were talking about you. Negroes eat around back, they were talking about you. The Negro League, they were talking about you. No, Negroes can come in here. They weren't talking about Africa.
In what context? In what context does the term Negro enter the lexicon of modernity, of contemporary times? Okay, and when did it first come into contact with Negroes?
We so far removed from Negro.
When did the Latino people, the Portuguese, the Spaniards first come into contact with Negroes?
You say you traced your lineage back on your family member, your forefathers and foremothers government documents. It says Negro. They were classified as Negro on your forefathers and foremothers government documents. When they said, I'm selling the Negro slave.
Actually, it's Black.
Bro, these terms, this is semantics. These terms are all meaning the same thing.
Listen, you know what exactly
we're kind of going around the barn here now, don't you think so?
Can I say something again? Can I say something again? I don't know if this would help. I don't know if this would help. Guys, please. Yeah, you see the term Nigeria and the term Niger. Both are given to mean Negro. The Niger River is wait, don't Vovo. It's okay.
Don't ignore him. He's an idiot. Just keep speaking.
Okay. Allow me to land, Vovo, please.
That was me, Jago. I'm sorry.
Hey lady. So those Negro names given. That Nigeria, me as a Nigerian who accept the term in a way. But me as a Nigerian, I can still entertain the word Yoruba. Yoruba, even that as a name given, or is still questionable. So we can even go further down to say we are sons of Oduduwa, who is the founder of the, so to speak. Sudan, the name Sudan means black.
What does that have to do with?
Wait! Just wait a minute.
Let him finish. He's making a point.
This is just African history. This ain't.
If you're intelligent, you could clearly identify the point he's gonna make. I can see where he's going. Let him finish.
It says an African for sale.
Dave, let him finish.
Let him finish, bro.
Good. I'm trying to hear this.
Hey, Dinus,
why is everyone so triggered?
Okay, Prince. Go, Jagoon. Go ahead, Jagoon.
Thank you.
Talk about y'all like y'all talk about us.
Dave, let him finish.
We got so childish.
Go ahead, Jagoon.
Sudan is known as black. Kemet is known as black. Um,
You lying.
no,
They known as dark.
They call
He
themselves
lying though. We
Bro, will
can't
y'all
just let
shut
him.
up and let the man finish?
Please let him finish, man.
Idiots.
I don't even understand what the trigger is.
Man, you can't just tell nobody no lie and think it's just cool, man. Hey, there's
Thank you,
no word
Gillespie.
in
Thank you.
Africa for
Yeah,
black.
yeah, nah, yeah,
This
yeah,
word-
hey, Jagoon, go get Jagoon. Go ahead.
All I'm saying is that even in Africa, there is identity issues. That's what I'm
Exactly.
putting to you. And
Yeah.
with these identity issues, I want to respect the Black American for trying to differentiate himself and let us know. But the land in itself and the ownership of the land is dicey in that there is not in what USA, there is not a portion of that country that is segregated for black people to say that this is our land and this is what it's called and this is the people that we are and this is the language that we speak. So because there's not that, there's further confusion, if you like, or complexity.
Exactly.
Again, that's a great point.
It is. It goes back to my original point at the outset.
It is a great point.
Yeah,
Y'all know where we at.
it goes back to my original point at the outset is that we have been given an identity. It goes back to what Dr. Du Bois said. We have this warring ideals and factions within ourselves. Are we fully American, African? What and who are we? And a good word is that's a foundational place to start, is an identifier that we can on.
But I think
That's the context and the frame of this conversation. Then I threw out this term, legacy African North American. That
No,
was
that's too
what I
complicated, bro. I
okay.
hear
I
you.
hear you.
Too
I hear you. But
complicated.
Man, we
yeah,
not
I hear.
taking
But let me
African
finish.
in none of our
Let me.
names, dude. You
I
can hang
want to
that up.
finish. Let me finish.
African
And
American or
so
black?
that
It's
was
Let
the
us
start.
finish.
Can I finish? That was to start the discussion. Well, that is, hey, this is the definitive term. I said, let's talk about this. Is that what I said, Dinus, Prince?
Correct.
And that's what we're doing. That is what we're doing.
I
But
like sorry. Are you
go ahead.
sorry. I like
Go
what
ahead.
Jasmine said because what he was basically saying to you is that everywhere we go, regardless of what language it is, we black. Negro.
He didn't say that.
Sudan, black. He was basically trying to show you the etymology of
No,
each
he's
of the
not showing me. He can't show me the
No, 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 no,
etymology
no,
of
no, no,
black.
no, no. See,
That's
this
not
is
what he
what I'm
said.
talking about. When people,
That's why I corrected Bob West yesterday on. It's like, dude, that whole negro word, that thing is, I could trace that back to Greece, ancient Greece. So yeah, so that kills the whole. Oh, and it was used as a color, not a nationality or ethnicity. So there were many Roman emperors, rulers, who last name was white, and there was a Greek word for that, and they had the last name black. And it was a Greek word for that. It wasn't saying you. So all the Roman, and then some folks would even go that route, but the Romans were white, all right, or damn near they were non-black in every sense that we could think of, all right. So yeah, we're not gonna do the necro thing. That's not gonna work. Like that. That's amateurs who have never studied languages and ancient history. That they just talking because it feels good to say negro black. See, they were tying us all together. No, the hell they were not. You were not identified by your skin color. You were identified by your tribe or whatever whatever you went into. And they even delineated from each other based on skin, not based on tribe. They didn't say, "Oh, you're black, I'm black. You're negro, I'm negro. Let's defeat white people." No, he said, "I'm from this tribe. You from that tribe. Stay over there. We're delineating." That was going on. Part of my audio. I'm trying to get my headset. Always does this, man. Act the fool. Let's go. Audio, video, whatever it is. Trying to sabotage me again. I ain't gonna fall for that trick twice. Okay. Now,
Pan-Africans try to teach and don't know
as soon as it works.
What they talking about. That word was.
I never had that issue before on YouTube where I'm playing a video and it did not play. These Pan-Africanist channels, man, are no good. Look at it. What the hell is that? Look at it. Play. Like, when does YouTube do that? What the hell is that?
Sorry. I like what Jonathan said, because what he was basically saying to you is that everywhere we go, regardless of what language it is, we black. Negro.
He didn't say that.
Sudan, black. He was basically trying to show you the etymology of
No,
each
he's
of
not showing me. He can't show me.
No. See, this is what I'm talking about. When Pan-Africans try to teach and don't know what they talking about, that word was not a proper noun until the Negroes in America said make it a proper noun. So when he was calling them black in Africa, he was just calling them black.
Bro, he's using it as an adjective.
No,
he's not saying it's a noun. The term Lad Al Sudan in Arabic just means the land of the blacks. That's what you're describing.
The term black in the
land of the blacks. It means black land. So these folks be again like they want, and now this is a Pan-Africanist argument. They were calling the land of Egypt black, not the people black. Because people were not identified by their skin color. You were identified by who you were, or they would give you a name. You know, like people would give each other unofficial names just to identify them. So that's why, like, you'll have like the Greeks. The Greeks would call Egypt Egypt. They wouldn't call it Kemet. So they'll give it their own name. Yeah, you know how they do. They start renaming everybody. They say, hey, these are the Moors. These are they gave everybody names because they didn't know who the hell everybody was. And they say, I got to identify them distinctively from the next people we ran into or we know about. So I hate pausing this shit because it takes forever.
1960s and operationalize it to take the sting out of it and speak to our unique experience.
Right, I'm forced to do this. Hold on. We at 2:55. I have to share from my iPad, all right? Because I can see my headset ain't gonna work until I restart the computer. Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. And I'm gonna go back in on my Cash App again to show how I've always been Cash App super chat people from 4 or 5 years. So you can't pull that scamming thing over here. You know, Chris Tucker said it's better to give than to receive. You dig? All right. So I'm a supporter of other folks' content as I just sourced up. All right, hold on. There we go. All right. So let me share from my iPad so I can restart my computer. Make sure it's on mute.
Sting out of it and speak to our unique experience. That's what we did. So African Americans know the
we didn't start calling ourselves black. I mean, some people make that argument.
In the 1960s, we moved from colored and Negro to black.
Negro, again, that's semantics. Negro means black. It's just different phonetics. The meaning is the same. Negro means black.
Had a meeting said they don't want to be called Negro no more because Negro is a slave term.
We operationalized the term black in the 1960s, in the Black Power movement is when it started to take the sting out of the demeaning.
You're not telling them when and how it started. That's why they don't respect what you're talking about. You come from a student
I already know how it started. I'm saying it's semantics.
But you agree with me. But you agree on that because there seems to be some confusion.
I definitely agree. But again,
tell them how it started. The Student Alliance had a meeting, said they don't.
Whoa, goodness. Dave, are you there? General Dave?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Dave.
I just find it very disingenuous. And I could go around on everything, but you know, the lady who from Jamaica, I'm from Chicago. And where we from, Jamaicans and African Americans, Black Americans, whatever y'all want to call it, we know we different, but we honor each other and we click up. For all of this, you know, I kind of find it like I don't hear no smoke coming from this lady about the UK, because the UK is who did it in Jamaica, you know. But all of a sudden, everything turned around, the big snake America and all this other type of stuff. Secondly, I guess I can go around Jagoon, all that other type of stuff, man. Everybody know who we are. This whole phonetic playing around and saying, oh, it ain't this, it ain't that. Y'all need to stop fretting, because what's happening is while you focusing in on us, Trump then set all Africa's visas at 3 months. And while y'all getting shorting y'all time and getting done in, everything is being focused on, well, we don't like you Black Americans. As your crumbs, the tether crumbs is leaving. And instead of saying, yo, what can we do to make sure to make sure you guys is good African Americans as well as going global, instead of trying to do that, everybody want to argue who we is and who we ain't. And it's real disrespectful. And so
I don't understand why you're putting that to me.
Don't nobody go to Nigeria and tell y'all what y'all is.
No, but I don't understand why you're putting that to me. I don't really understand the viscerality of what you're putting forward. You're just emotional. You're not saying anything.
Dennis, I gotta go. It's been 3 hours.
Okay, Prince, I appreciate you, man.
Thank you. Peace and blessings, everybody.
Bro, you're just making noise, man. You're not making sense.
Don't leave. Hold on, wait. I want to show you something.
Who wants to show me something?
The person who just spoke makes absolutely zero sense.
Unity is strength.
Can you show my screen?
Unity is strength.
Oh, why don't you send that to me, man? I can't see it.
I can't. I don't know how to. I've been asking you the whole show. Can I send it to you? Can I send you?
Press the plus there to zoom in.
I'll take a screenshot of it. All right.
Yeah. This is a document from. This is an 1880s census record.
Yeah, I have all that. Yeah.
No, what I'm saying, you see the race. You see the race.
I said in the census record, it said Black.
This is one of my grandmothers.
I'm just gonna talk
Look when she was born, 1805, not 2005, not 1905, 1805.
Yeah, no, I have no problem with that.
So what? Do you see the race?
I said that earlier. You asked me a question. I said it says Black.
African. She's not African. She's not. She lives in a
These terms are synonymous, though. That's what like it's semantics.
If she was there in 1805, she's far closer to being African than American. Believe that.
Well, no, that's not true.
She's 75 years old. She came there. Do the math. She came there.
Listen to what I'm saying. I go back further than
she's
this.
African.
This was just one. She's not an African.
If she came on the ship, she's an African.
She was born in Virginia. Is Virginia Africa now?
Where did her mother come from?
I know. You want to see where her mother came from?
Come on.
Do you want to see where her mother came from?
Yeah.
In all honesty, brother, you don't even have the right to determine that, because you're not coming up with the term.
I don't understand why
the only people who have the ultimate right to.
I wish I could stay on longer. Peace and blessings, okay?
RP. Hey, I gotta pass. Let me pass.
I enjoyed all of this except for a couple of people. We shouldn't call names. We shouldn't call people broke and all that. Okay.
Okay.
All right. That's thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for hearing me and everything. Okay.
How can I get in touch with you?
202-384-0709.
No. Don't say it on here. This is the internet. Yeah, put it in the back chat.
Man, I gotta go. 202-384-0709. Any of y'all can call me. Okay.
All right.
God bless.
All right, peace.
All right. Yeah, you can.
Thanks, Dinus. Thank you.
All right, no problem.
That woman ain't no African. That's one of my great grandmothers. That's the plantation right there.
She's African.
Yeah, you got some, you have some type of
She
complex,
is.
brother.
If she came across, it's
You do.
ancestry.
You have some type
You
of
have to give
complex.
honors to your ancestors.
Well, when
You
Virginia
have
becomes
to.
Africa, then we can talk about it.
No,
No, no,
the
man. You're
majority of the
misguided.
FBA
You're
identifying people, bro,
misguided
y'all have some type of
because
complex with
you
Africa.
have the
That's a distraction.
mentality. You
It
have the
is what it is.
mentality of a person who does not love
So it's gonna be
themselves.
shame and
And like Peter
we don't
Tosh
love
said,
ourselves.
no
We have
matter where you come from, you're an African. Listen to
Hey,
Peter Tosh.
I gotta read these super chats. Maximilian, thank you for 499 holla. This is an highly educated elder. Please don't get on here being disrespectful towards him. Peace and love, family. Spellcast, thank you for the $5 Canadian. Dynast, FBA needs to issue an arrest warrant for Umar Johnson. He committed fraud, took FBA money, and promised to build a school. 15 years later, no school.
Facts.
All gas, no brakes. Thank you for 499 holla. We all know that Harriet Tubman took free slaves north to Canada. Why are they excluded? Thank you for 499 holla. The big bad rascal, thank you for the $10 holla. If APA is just recognizing your lineage in America, then get the pretendians who claim that they are the real aboriginals of all the Americas out of your movement, Fovo.
I do.
Spellcast, thank you for the Canadian $2, the $2 Canadian. Let Maximilian speak, please. DJ, aka Mr. Sandman, thank you for 999 holla. It's always the black men that have never did anything for the country, swearing they are patriotic Americans. You love the USD, not the country. Have you served the country in any capacity?
Yes.
Blackjack 38, thank you for 499 holla. FBA needs a new name. Tariq trademarked it, which means he owns it. If y'all get reparations, he gets a cut of the check. He can modify your ancestry.
He deserves it.
All gas, no brakes. Thank you for 499 holla. What did Pan-Africans do about keeping Haitians from being deported? Latinos are advocating for the people. Andre Tanzel, thank you for $5 holla. Salute to everyone on the panel. And thank you so much for have this discussion. Shout out to the chat, to whether you're FBA or not. DC on the streets, thank you for $10 holla. Sonny Robinson, thank you for $1.99 holla. FBA or nothing, 500 years strong. Sonny Robinson, thank you for the $1.99 holla. Spain lied to give us South Carolina down to Florida. Sonny Robinson, thank you for $1.99 holla. Port Royal in the 1500s, better known as Beaufort, South Carolina. LL, thank you for $5 holla. For those that don't get it, we are taking the African out of our identity because of the scamming African Union. Sonny Robinson, thank you for $1.99 holla. Robinson Plantation, 1600 South Carolina, Google. Sonny Robinson, thank you for $9.99 holla. Never deny what we built. America are ourselves half of a millennia. The blood is on the walls, FBA. Press Peterson Morley, thank you for the $10 holla. So the Black Power movement started back at a certain period of time. What difference is the new A and A? All the same, but different period. FBA is a new period of in its own. All right, thank you for the super chat, y'all.
This whole thing is just, bro. It's really pointless, bro. Like these general terms, they've lost their use because the black community, quote unquote, you got to use that in air quotes too. It's like everybody's so different ideologically. So creating a term that just lumps everyone in based upon, I guess, what you look like, it's really it's you're gonna run into trouble every time because you're gonna have people that come from a certain idea and background disagree with the term because they have their certain reservations towards it based on their beliefs, and you're gonna have other people that do the opposite. So it's really just, at the end of the day, bro, you got to link with people that fundamentally agree with your ideals and your morals and your principles. I agree that it should be based upon quote unquote race. But again, you're going to have a large contingency and segment of black, quote unquote, black people that don't, because they think we live in a post-racial society. So, I mean, like right now, bro, and a lot of this stuff, people are creating these identities for coping mechanisms because they really just have low self-esteem. But
traumatized, bro. Traumatized.
Can I just say this one thing?
We're not.
Oh, give me one second. Just one thing. Real quick. I thought it was really interesting when you said racial. That's such a funny term because that term is only applicable in the US and the UK. When you get outside of these countries, there is
All right, all right. Let me see if can I be heard? I just restarted my computer. Sometimes, family, the headset goes out. I got to restart the whole computer. Okay, what I just noticed is that like when they sent super chats. Oh, did they send super chats? Oh, so Rasan, so supporters do send super chats and financial support to the channels they like. He tried to act like over here is like something different. Like we had like a scam. Hey guys, send me a super chat and I promise you we'll get your reparations check ready by next Friday. Like, dude, what the hell are you talking about? Over here is full transparency, full disclosure. It's called support. Okay. And some people, sis, I think Miss Pinky said here, this for suntan lotion. So some people do stuff like that. Now I don't wear suntan lotion because you know, I gotta, my body likes the sun and adjusts. It gets dark. But some people might say, hey, uh, get this. I get it. Like if you put a tag, if you put a note towards the donation, you're gonna get that. But most people just send money and say, hey man, this for the love of it. Like I do. Like when I send, as I shared my screen, when I send super chats, ain't no unless they wanted something in particular, I'll say, hey, this is for that. But y'all send stuff to Lord Jamar, hella people. All we going back to 2021, and that just this account. Now, no, I'm sorry, that's unbiased Ron. Now, FBA Defenses Unit, that count goes further than unbiased Ron. So I can show you super chats going before then, when they first started it, whenever it first started. But anyway, I'm just saying, I hate when haters they come into our spaces and try to call us scammers when we're fully transparent. Tariq Nasheed, fully transparent. Hey, I'm starting a Kickstarter. I want to do a movie. I want to do this. Hey guys, my supporters, people who love me, people want to see me successful. Hey, get behind it. It's either a yes or no. You think he ain't gonna do it? He's still gonna do it. Like when the museum thing kicked in, like he was actually short. He put the rest in. You dig? So a lot of times we can do it ourselves. Obviously, I was going shopping yesterday regardless. But when it's for the love and folks want to, don't hate. Don't hate because we're loved. We're not angry. Don't hate because we don't argue all day long. And my 2025 resolution is not to go back and forth and argue with folks of my lineage. So my thing is to not delineate within my lineage. That's my personal 2025 resolution is to not go back and forth with my lineage, people of my lineage. I reserve that energy straight for our ops, white supremacists, some Pan-Africanists, all Afrocentrics, and all tethers. You dig? And like I said, and all white supremacists. But y'all not gonna make us feel bad for circulating a dollar amongst our lineage. That ain't gonna happen. That trick bag that's done. That's out of here. Okay, you ain't gonna trick us out of our position. You dig? So anyway, so a lot of those hateful questions in the chat, they said something about Dr. Umar Johnson had a school for 15 years. Oh, FBA's. Again, that's them. They try to say we were xenophobic, but that's them making us xenophobic. That's them making us one monolith. Dr. Umar Johnson. Okay, so in that case, every Nigerian's a scammer then. And every Jamaican's a criminal because y'all countries are known for just that. But we don't call all of y'all what your country does. So if Umar does some scam stuff, if Tyrone sells drugs and if Ray rob a bank, what they got to do with Unbiased Ron? What they got to do with Tashi D? What they got to do with Donnie? And nothing. Rasun lied and said, well, I didn't see it, but somebody said that Rasun said, I said something about Donnie. Really? I didn't see that because I would have blocked him right away had I seen that. Why will I? Well, how do I know he know Donnie? And why would Donnie name come up when we're arguing Pan-Africanism? We're arguing the value of self-identifying. Why the hell would us a friend of the chat, a member of the lineage? Why would his name come up? Never met Donnie a day in my life. How the hell am I know about Donnie? But it's just more division, more hatred, and that's why Lex Vortex seen Rasun as an agent for sure, but a suspected tether because a lot of his ways and actions. All right. So let me play a little more. Okay, so I went over African Union. Okay, but I didn't read about it. So I went over the African Union, but I didn't read about it. I told you the African Union is a newer version of the OAU, I think it was. So it sounds like they get to re-identify to a term that fits their agenda more, just like we got the right to self-identify. So the African coalition can self-identify and self-identify for a more fitting term, but we can't do that. Just more hate coming from people who are Black. And I'm telling you guys, I slightly put tethers more dangerous than white supremacists. If they had the same power, influence, money, and as white supremacists, they would have already tried to Jim Crow us. All right. In 2025, they just don't have the numbers, they don't have the money, they don't have the power. I think they will outdo white supremacists. They'll make us beg for white supremacy, beg for chattel slavery. So I put them way more dangerous than a goddamn white supremacist. So the most dangerous people I ever came across, tethers number 1, white supremacists number 2, Black conservatives number 3, and Afrocentrics number 4. And probably racist Latinos number 5, something like that. But tethers on my list they're number 1. I ain't never speak to a white supremacist more disrespectful, more hatred than a goddamn tether. Not one. All right, and that's just my experience. But let's look at the AU. Okay, now I'm gonna read about it. This is like my own research. I read their website. Let me read my research on them. Okay. So the African Union has periodically acknowledged the 1.7 trillion spending power of Black Americans, FBAs, as part of a broader strategy to engage the African diaspora, especially foundational Black Americans. That's exactly what it says. I didn't use that word. It said, matter of fact, let me share my screen. Okay. So the African Union, AU, has periodically acknowledged the 1.7 trillion spending power of Black Americans as part of a broader strategy to engage the African diaspora, especially foundational Black Americans, as a source of investment, influence, and political solidarity. What is the 1.7 trillion figure? This number comes from the economic reports such as Nielsen 2019 and McKinsey 2021, which documented Black Americans have over 1.6 to 1.8 trillion in annual consumer spending power. This is larger than the GDP of many African nations comparable to Canada or Australia. So then they got nerve to be like, the per GDP, GDP, shut the hell up. Okay, so how has the African Union responded to this? AU recognizes Black Americans as a 6th region of Africa, CAP. In 2003, the AU officially declared the African Diaspora as the sixth region of Africa, alongside North Africa, West Africa, Central Africa, East Africa, and Southern Africa. The goal connect global African descendants, including Black Americans, with the content. Now, this is a favorable, friendly version. This is not how the AU speak. The AU do not say Black Americans in none of their language. They call themselves Africans and they call us African descendants. I don't want anybody to believe they're making a distinction. They're calling us Africans as well to make us feel like feel mushy. Okay, why the AU is interested in Black American spending power? Economic reason. You see, it's all about the bag. But they get mad when my family send me super chats, and they want super chats. The AU wants diaspora investment in infrastructure, tourism, agriculture, tech, and fintech, real estate. Foundation Black Americans have the economic power to fund projects that African governments cannot finance alone. They need us. They need us. They need us. That's all that means. They can't do it by themselves. All those goddamn countries can't do it by themselves. Many African countries want to diversify away from Chinese, French, or Western investment and see diaspora wealth as a strategic opportunity. Political reasons. The AU sees Foundation Black Americans as potential global lobbyists and advocates for Africa and Western countries. There's a push to create a bridge between Foundation Black Americans and the continent through dual citizenship offers, which they don't extend to us without money. You can't go over there as a homeless FBA, homeless Adolf. You're not going over there. Investment visas, heritage tourism campaigns. Example, Ghana's Year of Return 2019 and Beyond the Return, ongoing, specifically target Foundation Black Americans to reconnect and invest. Number 4, the AU has made specific requests for partnerships. Yes, some recent developments include AU ambassador to the U.S., Arikana Chihombori Quo previously said, Foundation Black Americans have the economic power to build Africa without asking anyone else. God damn, that's crazy. He just said all the deals they're doing with the French, Russia, all the deals they're doing with all these foreign European countries. They said they believe if foundational Black Americans alone became an ally, an investor, they can accomplish their goals. Damn. So they hate us, but they love us. They hate that they gotta love our money. Okay. So, but Foundation Black Americans have the economic power to build Africa without asking anyone else. It's time we use that 1.3 trillion to build our own reality. Okay. Partnerships with Foundation Black Americans, celebrities and entrepreneurs, Akon, Rick Ross, Akon's not foundational, to promote Pan-African investment. See? So they got to make it. This is why now y'all seeing why Pan-Africanists are so mad at us, delineating for that bullshit, because they look at us as killing their dream. We're reading their dream. Meetings with Foundation Black American delegations to foster business exchange and diaspora bonds. Number 5, criticism and skepticism. Many Foundation Black Americans ask, where was Africa during the Civil Rights era? Absent. Will African governments protect Foundation Black American investments? No. Just ask Michael Blackson, his $1 million in Ghana. Why engage now? Because of the money? Yes. So these are valid concerns. There's a history of silence from African nations during the Black struggles in the U.S. Many also question if the African Union's outreach is genuine Pan-Africanism or just economic opportunism. What do you think? Okay, so we read all that. We're the 6th region. Okay. There you go. There you go. There you go. There you go, family. I believe that was beneficial. Come here. Yes. We're going to the store. Come. Yeah, because I didn't get all I wanted from Walmart yesterday.
Because that term is only applicable in the US and the UK. When you get outside of these countries, there is no racial society. People is black in one country, people is Asian in another country, people is Germans in another country. Do you understand what I'm saying? So when they say post-racial, I feel like that's a very, even that just that term itself.
I mean, but
right. Yeah, yeah, my fault, family. I'm getting my son ready to get ready to go to the store. So we're gonna close this live. Everything I was showing and things like that, I'm gonna come back and do it all over. Don't worry about it. So I'm gonna come back probably like go live about 5 o'clock. So don't worry. Everything that I just what you guys seen and didn't hear me is gonna be done over at 5 o'clock. I appreciate y'all. I'll see you guys later. Peace. And you'll love it. You couldn't hear me, but when you hear it, you're gonna love it. But you read along though. You read along. You read along. You read it, but you didn't hear my breakdown, my assessment. I'll be back, family, about 4 or 5 o'clock. Peace.